you're live.
Yeah. All right, we're going to try this again, see how this audio is. Tried rebooting, confirmed my settings. I think everything is basically as I've always had it, which has seemed to have worked. It says my connection's good, my speeds are good. And we'll see how this goes. If it works, we're working on my VS410 Ultra tonight, going to install a light kit, clean it up a little bit, probably do some wheels and tires. But let's first hear if we're going to do any of this or if the audio is too bad to even work with. So, waiting on that feedback before we decide to just jump in.
Works.
It works? That's the first positive comment. Well, possibly.
Yay.
It's better. We fixed it.
All right. So you just have to unplug it and plug it back in. That's what I do with
Literally
everything.
restarted the computer.
I just unplug everything, blow in it, and then plug it back in, and it works.
Hey, it's a good rule for life.
Yeah. Oh.
What?
Funny.
Just saying. Well, good. That's that hurdle's done then. So, like I said, got the VS410 Ultra here. The light kit that I'm going to install is from Mad NGH. I've had this for quite a while and just haven't really got around to doing anything with it.
50% quieter than anyone else, but it's clean. We're kind of low.
We can adjust that. We'll see how that is. That should, that gets my levels pretty good.
I'm right up against this thing, so.
I can turn, yours is pretty much up.
Newfoundland.
Yeah, let's see where everybody's from. See, since we're all in this situation, all in the house together.
Yeah. Oh God, how many?
Yeah, we'll try.
How many? That's what she says. Do you think? Nashville. We love Nashville.
Do I have a
second favorite city?
box
Kansas
of
City?
shop rags over there? Oh, I think they're out in the actual shop, or in the garage. Yeah. It's okay for now. But anyway, you want to go to the desk. So this, what's that?
You have the mouse.
Oh, yeah. Here, I'll give that to you.
Turn up his volume. Ohio, Apple Valley, SoCal.
So this is the
Huntsville, Texas. Ohio, Indiana. Casey Moe. Do we know Kyle Walker?
I don't know
North
that.
Texas, Northern California. My volume is max and it's still a little quiet. Michigan, Chattanooga, Kentucky.
I think I can.
New Mexico, Idaho, Indiana, Newfoundland, Franklin, Ohio. Wisconsin, Indiana. Oh man, there's just a lot. I shouldn't have done that. Austin, BC, Gold Coast, Australia, Charlotte, Air Force in Vegas, San Fran, New
This is
Jersey,
a cool little
Cedar
kit.
City, Asheville, Portugal, Missouri, Mark Twain Hobby.
Hey, St. Louis side.
Yeah, we've been in there.
Yes, we have. I'm going to try and focus this. So yeah, this thing is it's got a touch system to turn on and off the lights. And basically it goes here underneath of the body and it's like a conductive type, deal that goes through the body. It won't touch it. It won't affect it like when a rock hits it. You have to touch it yourself. And I don't necessarily know exactly how that works, but it comes with these LED light pods, and then this is the big touch sensor here. It's dimmable and a bunch of stuff. I haven't really got into it all that much, but we're gonna find out together how this thing works.
Zealand.
Let's see what's in here. So yeah, this is this is kind of like the brains and the touch sensor. Hopefully I've got everything I need to get this thing powered up tonight. I'm sure we do. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's here.
Your other camera's broke.
My other camera's broke. This one? Oh, that's weird.
And the chat froze.
Well, oh, there it's back. That's weird. Just have to turn it off and back on. So, got a bunch of little wire connectors here. I assume we've got...
Who's the lady?
Who's the lady?
Mm-hmm.
You should introduce yourself.
It's not my job. I'm not the host.
Yes. The lady is my wife. And so, I've roped her into my Friday night. What's that?
Nothing.
Oh, you can take that, put that down there. So I've roped her into my Friday night live stream, which hasn't been, I mean, we haven't been super consistent, but we've been more often than ever before. Huh. All kinds of stuff in this thing. I figure it all out. It's pretty cool little 3D printed pods though for the actual headlights.
Yes, our cat is in his lap, or was.
She was, yes.
Okay, now I'll start reading questions. I'm sorry. She sounds lovely. Let's see. Okay. I know I just missed a lot of questions. I think there's a pretty big consensus that people want to know about your thoughts on the SCX10 III.
I'm excited to see it. Mine, I've got an actual kit coming in the mail rather than a pre-assembled version. Like a lot of the pre-assembled versions shipped out to stores and things like that. But I've got a full production version of the kit on the way. Supposed to ship, I don't know, whatever. It's on the way at some point. I'll see it soon, I'm sure. And I'll have plenty of time to work on it, I don't doubt. But I'm looking forward to a lot of parts of it. You know, just a lot of new. Everything's new. We all know it has portals. Well, that'll have its pros and cons, and there's just I'm looking forward to getting it in hand before I really have a whole list of thoughts on it.
Crazy cat lady. Don't tell me your cat wants to go to bed. Nicole with an H. I'm actually not with an H, just Nicole. Is your Robin. I'm Batman.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Where are you folks originally from? We are from Kansas City.
Yes. Kansas City is where we call home.
He's from...
I'm actually from Nebraska originally.
I'm not. I'm originally from Kansas City.
Yeah, I met her in Kansas City. But I was from Nebraska, Omaha area, small town north of it. And then after college, I moved to Kansas City and worked there as a civil engineer for 10 years or so. And then we moved out here almost 5 years ago. Yeah. Coming close on 5 years. So, a little bit of all over the place right now.
Is Vanquish going to make parts for the Element IFS kit?
What specifically for the Element IFS kit, I guess would be the question. I'm not really sure what you're trying to replace on that little kit. I haven't picked one of those kits up yet. I plan to, I'd like to, I just haven't got around to it.
Let's see. Man. Okay. Do they send you that stuff or do you have to buy them?
It depends. There's a lot of stuff that gets sent to me and there's a lot of stuff I end up buying. But this one was given to me in Vegas this last year by another hobby shop, a hobby shop who actually carries this, KLP Hobby or KLP Racing. They're actually over in China, where Matt NGH is from. They're a big Vanquish dealer. And when she was over here and visiting we were there for NRSA, the National Retail Hobby Store Association show. And we were an exhibitor there for, with the Vanquish stuff. And she was there as well and handed this to me. And I just have not, that was in, what month was that? September maybe last year? So I've had it a while.
Oh, your camera froze again.
You can just go to the main camera for a while and then go back to it. I don't know why it's doing that.
Okay. My wife is my best friend. That's sweet. Somebody tell me where I can find some phones in stock. Everywhere is out.
Yeah, foams are difficult to find right now. Or good foams.
Why?
It's part of this whole shipping shortages and supply chain stuff that's just killing people right now. And tire foams happen to fall under that. Tire foams, electronics, a lot of that stuff.
And people are panic buying RC. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, a bunch of my orders today were 3 kits, 2 kits, 4 kits of the same thing, but
you can never have enough bearings.
I guess.
So, yeah.
Okay. Let's see, something about portals or straight axles. My sister went to Creighton. I'm sorry.
Oh, Creighton? What? Creighton?
Day 4 of quarantine, no sports, and I guess I have a wife. That's from our Monster Jam baby.
Oh, Jesse?
Yeah. Work on a red cat.
Yeah, weird. I have not noticed that sports had not been on TV.
No.
That oddly had no effect on me.
I saw that the World Championship Snooker Championship is.
I will say that even though I haven't noticed that sports haven't been on TV. They did cancel some Ultra 4 racing and a lot of the Baja racing. But then I also saw, everyone's jonesing for sports, and the marble racing has come back in videos. And for some reason, marble racing is somewhat...
Here's one you'll like. Did you say marble racing?
Marbles, yes. Mainly on sand courses.
Wait.
Like marbles.
Like marbles?
Marbles.
Huh.
The only type of marble you know.
Like they have cornhole on one of the ESPNs.
The Ocho?
I don't know what that is, but
ESPN 8, the Ocho.
I'm like, if they have cornhole, they need to have washers. Washers is a far superior long game.
I do prefer washers as well, but
here's one you'll really like. I've been watching birds fight for worms. Blue Jays 3, Robins 1.
Blue Jays 3, huh? Blue Jays are dicks. That's for sure. His wife loves to shut down the lawns, going to look amazing. Yeah, right. Like Josh does lawn work. Yeah, I did lawn work last week.
You mowed our 3-foot patch of grass that they consider a lawn in California.
Done.
Red cats are garbage.
She's reading a comment.
Yeah, I'm reading a comment.
She doesn't have actual opinions on these things.
Is it true Matt rides a ferret around his house?
Oh, that's interesting. Are ferrets allowed in Canada?
I don't know. It's a weasel. Support your local hobby shop in this tough time. Agreed, please.
Yes, I think hobby shops. I've seen a lot of hobby shops that are staying open, and I think they're staying open under the clause of being a hardware store.
Well, if not, a lot of them you can probably order online.
Right, but a lot of local hobby shops aren't online. So.
Was that a beer? You better catch up. Yes, we are.
We have today was the end of our extensive Whole30 diet, which was a lot. So I'm having a small glass of beer too.
I had a bigger one.
Yeah, she's drinking a larger beer than I am. I don't really drink much beer anymore, so I'm just having a...
Yeah, girl. Is VP thinking of making a set of axles with portals for the UMG 10 6x6?
That's a very
specific... Is that short for Unimog? Or no?
Yes, but no.
Okay.
Unofficially.
That would be great.
It's a pretty niche specific axle, so that, especially with the SCX10 coming out already, like efforts would probably go to the newer rather than the very niche, very specific, because it takes such a special axle for it. So I don't know. Most likely not. Even though I do think they're cool.
Okay, how is it I can't get my 10.2 to swim?
Have you installed flippers? I don't know. I avoid those swimming situations with most of my cars. Other than the snow. I like the snow every once in a while. Very rarely.
Bring back old-fashioned lawn darts.
Oh, did you ever play lawn darts?
No, those are dangerous.
We played them at Sunday school. And yes, I went to Sunday school. Not very many times, but...
Weird. I've been uploading old school off-road racing of all types if you're interested. Why people even buy red cats is beyond me. Okay, bye y'all. Wish you could stay longer. Starlings are dicks too. I can show that one. Oh, just what I need tonight. Mechanical MTV gave us $5.
Hey,
Thank you. That was very nice. You bought our beer.
yeah, perfect.
Cheers. Miller Lite. No. Due to lack of hockey, I had to check my kid into the wall. Got 4 minutes in the box. Don't do that to your children. When you get your SCX10 III kit, will you make a build video series as you put it together? That'd be nice.
I haven't decided. Matt is doing like a full step-by-step build series.
I'm echoing.
Well, hopefully that doesn't continue.
Okay. Do you need me to move farther away? Will the new SCX10 III portals fit in the SCX10 II?
I mean, honestly, it's hard to say that, but for a lot of reasons, I would think no. You can tell by a lot of the... I broke some of the detail 3D printing on the back. You can tell by a lot of the design features. You know, it's got real high arching rails, very similar to like a VS410 chassis or things like that. So we did that specifically to clear that offset pumpkin because it's a larger chunk and it's on the one side. So you have panhard clearance issues and all these kinds of things, and it makes things difficult to clear. So I think if you tried to shove those axles under an SCX10 II, you could run into the same issues where you're not going to have that clearance that you need.
What lights are you installing?
This is the MAD NGH Touch Light Kit.
My LHS is open and waiting for anyone to walk in.
Local hobby shop.
There you go. You look thinner.
Boom.
Get this man some wings and cheese stat.
I know. I haven't had any cheese,
No
dairy,
cheese.
no sugar.
Oh, somebody wants a whole 30. We haven't had dairy, sugar,
Preservatives.
basically any preservatives, grains, legumes.
Anything that tastes good.
We've had chicken and eggs and fruit and vegetables for 30 days.
Yeah. No alcohol.
We've had lots of meat.
Yeah. No alcohol at all. Which isn't necessarily rare for me. I probably go most 30 days lots of times without alcohol, but
In this quarantine,
but sugar is hard.
Yeah, resorted to
Especially me.
1/10 scale of women. Oh, what's gluten? Gluten is the other one.
There's no gluten? Huh.
We haven't been eating gluten.
I guess.
What color and type of paint is on that body?
It's a green Lexan paint. I don't paint bodies, so asking me anything further than that, I think it is a Duratrax lime. I think that's about as good as you're going to get out of me. I can tell that there's green backed with silver, and then backed with black. Beyond that, and I think there's two colors of silver. There's two colors of silver: light silver, then dark silver, then black. I have no guidance beyond that.
Okay, I am way behind. I apologize. I just had to go down because Matt said I put you on mute to avoid any annoying noises. But Matt,
Yeah, she's the one talking most.
I'm reading the questions, and we were supposed to hang out this weekend.
I know. We should be in Vegas right now.
We should. I'm bummed. Everyone needs to look skinny.
I have lost significant weight. I am under 200 pounds. It's just... Sure, yeah.
That's hilarious.
If the stimulus package goes through, is it we're gonna
I wasn't gonna do that.
spend it on Vanquish trucks? That's a
Perfect idea.
yes. Absolutely.
Blue jays and cardinals are evil birds. We love our hummingbirds. We had so many hummingbirds back home, and then I was super excited because we got hummingbirds here in California, and so I feed them all the time. We don't have as many, but okay. Hi, RC masked master. What would be the
Bearded.
three? Huh?
Bearded, but no. Anyway.
No, that was his name. They weren't calling me that. What would be the three things you'd recommend upgrading right off the, I'm assuming bat, to upgrade on my brand new Capra RTR? This is RTF.
Oh, he's probably a playing guy. I would get some different shocks or limit your shocks a little bit. Find a way to gear it down with like the smallest pinion you can, for sure. And then probably at least a better set of tires. So like first few things.
Matt. Strange echo on the wife's voice. I think she's getting picked up by two mics.
Oh.
So you need to turn yours down or mine down, or you need to just move that bad boy over. There you go.
Let's see what it does. It's probably as you get louder. The more she drinks, the more she gets loud.
Oh, stop.
True.
Matt. Has Matt ordered you a doll with your head?
No.
Capra or bomber? Thinking about a build.
That's a tough one. The bomber's so much fun, but the Capra's kind of the new thing, and it looks pretty good with 1.9s, and that's a tough choice. I don't have that solution for you. Kind of depends on what you want, as always. As is always the answer, right? I'm pretty sure there's like some video instructions for this thing that I should definitely be watching, because
Matt, your wife needs to slide over to her left 2 feet.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't.
Right or left, I don't know.
I'm good not being on camera all the time. If anybody wants to know anything about the SCX10 III, I'll be fielding all your questions here.
Is that Matt?
Yeah.
Yes, Matt has all the he built an actual kit.
Captain and Diet. That's what, oh my gosh.
What?
Captain and Diet, is this someone I know from my past? You're Kenyan skinny. Have you had any of those light kits where the rear LEDs are wired backwards?
Where the rear I don't know I don't know what that means, I guess. Where the rear LEDs are wired backwards.
Okay, what are the top 3 upgrades you would recommend for me to do my brand new Capra RTR for Pro Line by the Fire, if it even happens? Did we already do that one?
Yeah, close enough.
Let's see. You should scoot over. You quit drinking. Da da da. Correz09 West gave us $5 because public distancing and credit cards aren't good. Thank you. You're buying our second beer. I have a lot of echo.
Let me see that.
Someone had a divorce cruise but had to cancel it. What a bummer. I didn't know you get cruises when you got divorced.
I mean.
Sweet.
I don't know. We'll see what that does.
Maybe. Oops. Talking about smoking the reefer. Will Actil make an SCX10 III ready to run?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that you'll see that. You know, all those demos that got sent out as display models are pre-built, so they're obviously, you know, capable of getting them assembled. And from there, they also just released that all-in-one ESC receiver, Spectrum receiver with that smart technology in it, with it's a brushed ESC inside. I could see that in a ready to run, like right away.
Oh shit.
What?
No, somebody said it froze, but it didn't.
Oh.
I guess I need to have it on that one. Okay. I sent Josh a meme on how he can crawl with a group hazmat suits. I'm having a White Russian in your honor, Josh.
Yeah, okay. I'll take it.
Yeah, thanks. Cheers. At least you had
What
it
is
before
this?
Screws. That is a Yolo County vanilla
porter?
stout. Milk
Stout?
whatever. Good evening, Moose Jaw. Oh, our friend Moose Jaw.
There you go.
Good
Joe.
evening. Did you shave your back? I lose lots of weight when I shave mine. So, why aren't you a part of the new Axial rig release? You're a part of almost every big crawler release. You ain't cool enough anymore. This is RC Dave charged up. Or they knew you caught the... Oh, yeah.
Mine's in the mail. It's on like a full kit, though, and rather than a pre-assembled version. So, but it's all on the way. I'm looking forward to building it. I think it'll be fun.
They should have made the beadlocks black on the SCX10 III. Why the chrome?
You know, some people like that look. Gives it a little bit of, you know, you don't see as many black wheels, you know, although it is popular, you don't necessarily see that all often. You see a lot of aluminum, so.
Now the volume's wrong. Christ almighty. You mean hipster beer. Sound.
Yes, it is going to be a battle, I'm sure. This is...
Volume is too low. Can you hear me? Or is it Josh that you can't hear? Both volume down. We're trying.
We'll see what we can do. I'll get mine as close to me as I physically can. But that's about as good. And I know that there'll be a little bit of crosstalk, but it's a little in the view, but not bad. What I'm trying to figure out.
We are sorry we are having volume issues tonight.
But
turn up your volume.
I think mine's going pretty well, but you can probably turn it up a little bit more.
Now they're going to be like, it's an echo.
Yeah, because I can see you pick up on mine.
Okay. Can we do an Irish car bomb live? We are around the world, so that's not necessarily the most PC thing to call it, but...
Right.
And we don't have Jameson or Bailey's, and this actually isn't Guinness, so no.
We have none of the things.
We don't, I know.
Let's see.
Okay, now we're good. Otherwise, we would. Should I tell my Irish car bomb joke?
I don't know that. I didn't know you had a joke, but it's probably not good.
It's not.
Oh, then probably not.
Okay. We need like you know, they have like Big Brother After Hours.
No.
We need like a live, yeah, they have like, we need like a RC, whatever, hangout.
Everything like, inappropriate?
Yeah, like after hours so that I can tell my jokes that, you know.
I think these are taillights.
Should I?
I think they are. That makes some sense. See, I figured it out.
I I apologize if you power up those lights and the rears don't work. It's the polarity.
Oh, that's what he meant. All right, well, thanks for the note. If that happens.
TRX4 is the better out-of-the-box truck. IMO.
So I liked my TRX4, and it definitely has its upsides, but out of the box, it just has, it's one of the most durable trucks you can buy. That is no doubt. You know, short of like a Vanquish kit, there's not a whole lot else you're going to be able to get that's that durable. But it doesn't perform as well as most of the other trucks out of the box as far as like actual climbing ability. It's just it is tall. It's got a high center of gravity, partially because of the portals, partially because of the battery position, the weight of the chassis, but it's still a good truck. It just isn't as good of a performer as a lot of the others. What are you giggling about?
Everyone wants me to tell my joke.
Oh God, I don't remember it. I guess I could just plead the.
Well, it's a cultural like difference. So we had a friend who was in Ireland. He was an American and asked for an Irish car bomb while in Ireland, and the bartender turned around with 2 shots of vodka and slammed them on the bar and said, "Sorry, red of those, but here's your fucking twin towers."
Wow.
Yeah,
that's not much of a joke, but it's a crude story at least.
Anecdote.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I'm getting it more.
You're getting more. So I have to sit here and listen to or see the comments of your joke. Yeah, the delay will take care of that. She's not very good at jokes. She will have to read all the comments because like the monitors moved over there, and I'm going cross-eyed trying to look over and read.
Seclusion and alcohol.
Yeah.
I think they're just now picking it up. That's so bad.
People get touchy.
Well, I mean, that was a rough point in their history as well as ours. I thought, oh, here we go.
You're probably way.
She mic dropped and left them.
Yeah.
Dotton's Sunday. What does that mean?
Dotton's Point at Folsom Lake. Maybe. I'm not sure. Depends. I have a bunch of stuff I'd like to work on still, and.
Okay, and you're supposed to be
practicing my social distancing.
Don't mess up and have a kid. Don't you worry.
A coronial?
Huh?
A coronial? That's what they're gonna call them.
Can I tell you another story? And your mic is in your face.
That's fine.
So today we had a girl with us at work who was helping us out a little bit. Do you know, we were talking about everything, and she was like, well, she looked at me, Josh, and she said, look at me. She goes, and it's my generation that is. She's. Like,
she was separating herself from.
She was like 20. She was like, I'm not. It's fine. She was like 20. She was like 21, and she said, well, and it's my generation who's spreading it, and I was like.
Oh, you got all mad because she put herself in different generations.
Like, we're the same generation. Yeah. I was like, I think we're both considered millennials. I don't know. Right?
You're definitely a millennial.
Right? I'm only 33.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure 21-year-olds are millennials. Yeah, positive. So yes, same. I gotta get some of this dirt out of here.
They will grow up to be quarantiners.
Quarantines.
Sorry. Quarantines. I'm sorry. Oh, Matt wants to say something about an episode of The Office. I missed it.
We'll go back because that's important.
Don't you guys talk all the time?
You can never miss an Office reference opportunity.
Oh, somebody connected to a Bluetooth speaker to hear us. It's the Boomer Doomer virus.
Yeah.
He's trying to have people guess what episode.
Oh, of what?
Aw, somebody said something nice, but I shouldn't read it.
Wow, I guess that was way simpler than I was expecting it to be. I thought this was going to be like my live stream for the night. I was going to sit here and put a light kit in. I don't put lights in things very often, so I just was expecting this to be a thing.
He does not, I'm going to tell you right now, he does not have any tips on how to paint rust because he doesn't.
No. I can tell you where you can order things to be painted with rust on it. I have a suits body back there. Well, that obviously isn't going to work.
You can tell Josh isn't a painter because he's using a brush on the body without paint.
It's a specific... Well, for one, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to brush paint bodies. I guess that could be maybe that... No, I don't know.
Matt is on... Oh, where did it go? Branch Wars.
Oh, okay. Branch Wars, yeah. They're going to go destroy a printer.
Like in Office Space?
No.
Oh. Do you know your demographic for your channel?
I do know my demographic. Well, I know what it says it is. Oh, look at that. All right. You want to go see if the other camera works again?
How do I?
There's that one. So the sensor is right here on the hood. So when you touch it.
What? That is funny. I think these are taillights.
You tap.
What? Okay, I'm going to go back to reading actual questions.
Okay, go for it. Someone was right. The taillights don't work.
Just got here. Where are we? Any info about the Capra axle housings that I see on the VP website? Oh, and they even dim?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fancy.
Right? There's 3 levels. Low, which is just like an on. Tap it again. Medium. Low.
There's 2 levels.
There's 2 levels.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you can tap and hold to... There's a thing you can do. But I indeed do have a backwards polarity issue.
Where are they sold?
These came from KLP Racing over in China. Mad NGH is the maker.
So glad they're soft white. So tired of the fake super white LEDs. My desk lamp does that.
Right? I've got a desk lamp out there that does that as well.
Flip that rear polarity.
Polarity. Good try. Close enough.
Yes. RC Geek 08. Sir Josh, there will be available Curry F9 portals for the SCX10 III.
Yes, I would assume so at some point. I don't know when and whatnot, but...
Those but they multiplex at a weird rate. How's it going, Harley? I was wondering if Vanquish was thinking of making a 2.6 for the mudslingers, and I'm sure other tires in the future. Thanks for great products and videos.
I don't think so. Not right now. Right? I mean, I think that's right now we're a small shop, so we only have so much.
Right, low beams and high beams. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I swear there's a tap and hold.
Much Josh, much expert, yes. Matt said there's a lot of inappropriate touching. Matt, I'm just upset that you haven't said anything about being sad you didn't get to hang out with us this weekend.
Matt was he was much too okay with this whole situation.
I know.
From the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to tell me that it wasn't. Yeah. I think it was because he knew that I was going to get all 3 of my trucks done, and then he was scared.
Oh, whatever. Which is better, TRX4 or Element Enduro?
I guess it depends on what you're after, really. You know, the Element or the TRX4 is by far the most durable. The Element, like if I was going to go try and actually be competitive or something like that, and I was trying to choose between those two, I'd pick up the Element. Just because I would prefer the solid axle, the straight axle, no portal, and the center of gravity options that it presents. All right, take 2. Switch to the Polarity. Somebody really saved me some frustration if this is what immediately fixes it. Fixed one of them somehow. Do I have to flip the Polarity? Nope. I need to flip the taillight.
Can you flip the plug?
Look.
Oh my god, you're a dummy. Now
I put one of the...
I can't get it. No. Other way. There you go.
This one's facing inwards and not into the light. Whew.
Man,
I get paid for this.
Like,
I get paid to work on RCs every
I
day.
was like, maybe it's an actual Jeep taillight. It doesn't work above 1,000 feet.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good story.
You go for it.
So, the Jeep, my 2009 Wrangler, Nicole kept telling me that the taillight, or the blinker specifically, stopped working when she went up in elevation. And then as soon as she came down in elevation...
No, it was a blinker.
Yeah, that's why I said the blinker. That it would work again. But it was an elevation thing. And that's...
What did you say?
I said taillight first, then said blinker.
No, I know. I'm saying, what did you say when I told you that it wasn't working?
I don't recall exactly.
You said, that is bullshit. You're turning to your mother. That's what you said to me. You said, you're turning to your mom. You just hear things. You're hearing things. You're seeing things. That's not true. That's what you said.
I'm sure that was about something, but anyway, the point of is that it was partially true.
It was completely true when I went above 1,500 feet to go to work.
Well, what the
blinker didn't work.
What the actual issue was is that there was the trailer plug in the back was rubbing against the exhaust. And I think what would happen is when she would go up that hill, she drives with her foot to the floor and everything. And it would get hot and it would basically short out that tail. And for some reason it would just stop working, but then it would come back after however, I don't know how, but it was the craziest thing until I actually just pulled the wiring and found that and figured out our issue. But elevation, she wanted to call a radio show on PBS.
You're so full of shit. Oh yeah, no, it's a show on PBS,
Yeah,
and it's on like Sundays, and it's about cars, and you can email them. And I was like, this is weird. Maybe we should email them. Because my husband with an engineering degree can't figure it out and thinks I'm lying, and I'm not. So let's ask these fucking old New Jersey guys from PBS on the car show.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
These are pretty cool.
They're super cool, but what if like a light breeze hit your...
So it's evidently not supposed to just work with other like non-conductive materials, like the paintbrush. See?
plaque? What does that mean?
Click. I think that's the car show.
Oh, see? Everybody knows it. Car Talk.
You didn't even remember it.
No, I mean, until you refresh my memory, I did. But it's the coolest show. They're like these two old guys from New Jersey.
So.
See? Everyone knows it. They're just talking to Matt, so.
Yeah. This.
It's about time for Live PD. Live PD is a rerun.
Live PD's not on tonight.
It's a rerun this week. That's why I'm in here.
That's why she was.
You should come on a live stream I would watch.
Is that Matt?
No? You two should have a podcast, no holds barred. I love when people are mean about things.
Don't say that. What are you laughing at?
Somebody said that. I like it. I tell the guys at the shop, you're here for shine and show. I'm here for hook and go.
Hook and go?
I don't know.
Sounds like isn't that a tow truck driver?
I don't know. Everyone, Matt. You say Matt is so much that they think that's your name.
Did I say Matt?
I don't know. I know, but yeah, like he's on,
But it's not a new one.
But it's a rerun. We've seen them all. Pretty young lady with all capital. You should be on camera more. No, thank you. Your wife said that you are an engineer for what? Railroad?
Civil engineer, and I focused on traffic for 10 years. So I am a professional engineer and a professional traffic operations engineer. So I have a business card with a lot of letters after it that I don't use anymore.
Use some of it.
I mean, I still use engineering, but not traffic engineering.
There are no wheels for mudslingers. I'm sure it would be a wise investment to make them. Everyone wants them, and there is none to be had.
I mean, I know I think CBERC actually makes some. But it's kind of, I mean, it's just not a huge area compared to like the 1.9 trail market. And trying to make, to tool up for a wheel, you're basically just tooling up a whole wheel. So it takes away another style of a wheel that's likely going to be more popular, like a 1.9. And, like 2.2 is even going to be more popular than the smaller niche of something like the 2.6 stuff right now. So, and we've decided to even hold back on those to focus on 1.9. So.
Oh man.
What?
They're just coming. Podcast would be awesome. Would tune in to that all the time. Any of you guys remember Mickey Thompson's Stadium Off-Road Racing Series? You're lagging.
The Stadium Off-Road I think that was like remember the one that you would always, like you'd go out to eat or something like that and they'd have the arcade game with the 4 wheels? Of course not.
We didn't have fancy stuff like that in Kansas City.
Was it like Pizza Huts?
We had Godfathers.
You had...
I'm just fucking... Have you guys watched Lost in Space on Netflix? No.
Mm-mm.
But I like the old Lost in Space. I do watch The Twilight Zone on Netflix.
Yeah.
I love it. Does VP build parts for the Dancing Rider?
No.
Wish.
Should. We almost did at one point. Just some very specific parts.
They have got a crazy fetish for the Tiny Dancer at Vanquish. They love it. I know it's my thing, but they love it and they race him and they, are silly.
They are the best thing ever.
Yeah. Josh should be on camera less. That's about as mean as I can get. Sorry. That was a joke about the railroad.
Yes, driving a train.
Oh, so you're the reason traffic lights suck? No, but he loves talking about roundabouts and how much. And everyone calls and bitches to him about roundabouts, like he invented them and B, planned all of them in the entire country.
I will defend them.
He will, which is annoying.
But I will say that there's plenty of roundabouts that are poorly designed. A good roundabout is all about the design.
Have to praise Matt for his SCX10 III videos now. How do we rank him?
What did they say?
I don't know. It says, how do we rank him? At tow truck, WTF. More like Chrome. Didn't get you home, as I said, just to get the competitive juices flowing.
Oh, I see. That.
Have you thought about going back to school and getting a different engineer? That was Jesse, folks.
No.
Hey, the engineering degree got you an amazing job. That's the main thing. Yeah?
Yeah. No, I'm happy with my degree. I still wouldn't.
Degree in math because he wasn't sure that working on RCs was nerdy enough, so he had to get a degree.
So
in
math and engineering,
yeah,
because that's what's important.
Oh my gosh, do you know this person, Alex Kelly? He worked on diverging diamond interchange.
Oh, I don't know him, but I mean,
yes, he did.
I've worked on. We've
had to drive through every DDI in Kansas and Missouri that's ever been done because we had to look at them.
Designed the second ever constructed DDI in the United States. The first one was on Highway.
You're not first, you're last.
54 down in Springfield, and then the second one was Woods Chapel Road in. Woods Chapel Road in what is Woods Chapel in? Blue Springs. Then I worked on another one in Tiffany Springs Parkway.
Yep,
worked on one in Harrisonville. Loved DDIs.
They're the scariest. Those are the scariest things ever.
You don't even notice.
Yeah.
If you don't know what a DDI is, a diverging diamond interchange, basically
No
you cross over and you drive on the wrong side underneath of the interstate overpass.
So for traffic engineering, why do people insist on making roundabouts too small to get an 18-wheeler through?
If you have a heavy truck trafficked area, you should have what's called a rollover.
When will Curry's be back in stock?
A rollover apron.
When will Curry's be back in stock? Does working for a toy car company pay better than working as a civil engineer? Not when you move from Kansas City to California, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Have you gotten your hands on an SCX10 III yet? We already did that. SCX10 III axles under the Capra. Capra axles are too wide.
I like Capra axle width. I mean, I think a lot of people who don't like the width of the Capras are more just used to regular trail trucks rather than kind of looking at it like a competition buggy, which is more along the lines of, I think, what that's kind of looked at. So it's what we would usually call XR width. So I personally like that, but I think my biggest problem with the Capra is the transmission.
Whoever this Alex Kelly is, you guys are the best interchange. They're finally starting to happen in Minnesota. Are you guys soulmates? You guys are soulmates.
I drove through one in St. George, Utah in 2013. They're all over. They're popping up all over.
I'm way behind again because we're really
I'll talk about some traffic stuff.
Who makes high clearance links?
I think there's a number of places you can get custom high clearance links. I don't necessarily know because I don't care for them. I don't like the look on a scale truck. You know, like we used to run them all the time on like competition, comp crawler type stuff, but they're just not something I'll put on a scale truck. So I don't know exactly, but there's definitely some of those, kind of boutique link manufacturers that will. Was there any more traffic questions?
You can.
Everybody likes to talk about traffic.
No one does. Like literally no one. You are using duct tape and not shoe glue to hold wires. I don't know if that was just a statement.
It is actually Gorilla Tape.
Somebody already answered that. No wonder traffic is so bad in Kansas City. Have you been to California?
Yeah, traffic is amazing in California. Or in Kansas City.
Yeah. Somebody already said that about the Gorilla Tape. Asking a question for Matt. The video game was Ivan Stewart.
Oh, that was Ivan Stewart, not The other one. Not Mickey Thompson, I guess.
Oh, gotcha. Would you buy a Gen 8?
No, I think with the other options that are available now, I don't think that I would purchase a Gen 8. I don't think it's the right buy.
Okay. Man, the High Castle and Outlander. My mom likes Outlander. Traffic Circle or Roundabout? Nope.
The big difference.
What is the name
Traffic Circle's not
of the touch light system you're installing?
It is from Mad NGH. You can probably find it at klpracing.com.
Getting drinking, and we'll find out about all the upcoming things.
I will say there were some old live feeds where I'd be down in our basement and I was drinking.
That was back in our drinking day. Oh, it's when we actually drank.
Yeah. I think it took me like 12 hours to put a Yeti kit together over 2 long nights or something like that.
Oh goodness, I don't want to talk about traffic. I don't even like cars.
There's what?
It was a joke.
Oh.
Okay, this is crazy. Where I'm so far behind. Bye. What does Matt say?
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
What's a DDI? And then he said DDIs are the best interchange. Oh, we already did that. Driving during intoxication. In Florida, we have a reverse diamond, and it works great.
That's basically, I think, probably the same
you
thing.
should come to Portugal. It's full of roundabouts. Engineers here think that's the best way to improve traffic. I would love to come to Portugal. Let's go to Portugal.
Yeah. And roundabouts they're like a great step between when you don't have warrants to meet a traffic signal.
If people could just use their blinkers. Are you not supposed to say, is blinkers not the correct term?
Sure. Blinker, turn signal.
Why are manholes never in the middle of the road?
Because normally utility easements are offset. That way you don't have to tear up the middle and disturb 2 lanes of traffic.
They're making fun of me for saying blinkers.
Yeah. What do people call blinkers?
My blinkers are out of fluid.
Oh, blinker fluid? You never heard that joke? Like,
no.
Send someone into AutoZone to get blinker fluid? Muffler bearings?
Yeah, my dad put a glass back muffler on my mom's car one time when he changed out the muffler and didn't tell her until she obviously found out.
Yeah, she figured it out.
So, when are you gonna buy one of those Jesse James firearms?
Oh,
Ever?
One day.
Never. Can someone tease him about Rangers for me? I'm not social distancing, and I had a long day of actually working. Hey, we both.
I did too.
We did too. I was a draftsman for a civil engineer firm in New Jersey. Will VP start making wheels for the Capra with an offset like the ones TGHHHH has produced?
I mean, basically all of our wheels, you can just put. You don't need like the width of the axles is a good width. So just if you want a narrow one, just put a narrow hub on it. You don't need like a crazy offset. And to get good style, you kind of need a dish. Otherwise, you end up with wheels that don't look that great.
I love this. My wife wants to go crawling with your wife, Bill.
Oh, Billy, you know Bill.
Yes. We all know that Josh's wife doesn't crawl, so when you say that, that means drinking. Crawl, like that's my code for drinking.
Oh.
We should all go crawl. Let's all the wives go crawling. That's funny. I thought we were going to a freaking cat show. Right?
Yeah, hey, that was your guys' plans.
I'm bummed. Josh, get a refill.
No, I'm good. I have sparkling water to drink.
You're so obnoxious.
It's grapefruit.
So, Bill says, what are you trying to accomplish with the VS410 Pro you have there?
Now, since I conquered my task of putting lighting on it so quickly, I think what I'll do is install some wheels and tires. I had those wheels and tires on it, and I had vented them, but we were crawling at like 9,000 feet. So I think when we came down the hill, it was whoosh. So now I need to pick.
Crawling, you're right.
Pub crawl. Oh.
We need a Matt and Josh show. That's what they said.
They're kicking you out already. You
Matt's not even in this country. Like, the shit.
Entertain them for a second.
Okay. Okay, somebody asked about something about if one of your shipping guys on Wednesday got a weird message. Can I just say that I got a weird message? Like, and if you don't know, I work for Fast Eddie Bearings. The other day, someone asked me to draw a sweet-looking frog on their package so that they knew it was for them.
A sweet-looking frog.
And it threw me because I was like, well, I can draw a frog on your package. Not well, but I can do it. I don't know what a sweet-looking frog is. Like, is it sweet like, oh, sweet like an angel, or like sweet like cool sweet? I wasn't sure. I did have somebody ask me to draw them a snowman on their package one time.
Yeah.
Because...
Should I do gray machetes? I'll change the tires. I have gray machete. Everything, nothing else really goes with this green. What about gold? I'm not doing gold. What do you think?
It's grapefruit, that's funny.
Green and gold? How obnoxious is that?
Ooh, I like it. It looks like a donk.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Go with it?
Yep.
Go crazy?
Mm-hmm.
I think I could do that. And my Capra.
I'd love a Matt and Josh live stream.
You're getting the boot.
Oh my God, they like you better than me.
Okay, we're going gold. Whoops. I got it.
NWO sweet. What? Another vote for Matt and Josh.
Where did my fourth wheel go?
Something fell on the floor.
Yeah, but that was a great one, which I need still. But
I hate you, Josh. You have so many Vanquish wins. He knows a guy.
Well, this is an issue because I need my other gold wheel.
Babe, one fell on the floor.
I picked that up already. Oh wait, there it is. It's on the front side.
Yeah, everyone says gold or orange or purple. Oh, this is a guy who's trying to stir shit about our coffee table. Always. Can you do a shop tour video soon? I'm assuming they mean Vanquish, and I skipped a whole bunch. I'm just kind of like quickly going through our all engineers. I'm assuming that means bougie. No, I can be.
Bougie.
It's all about wheel placement, throttle control.
Blue. Can't from. Wait, the red dot is G8. It's not.
I hate traffic light sensors when I'm on a bike.
Yes, that law.
You're supposed to reverse and then come back up to it.
No, that doesn't.
I learned that in motorcycle safety
that,
class. That's what they say.
The problem is that they're inductive loop. So the mass of a motorcycle normally isn't there to trip the inductive loop.
Oh, wait. The Mickey Thompson Off-Road Racing Series was the real racing series that the video game was made from. So you were right, baby. Who designed that overpass in Dallas, Texas and Washington, D.C. that is 150 feet off the ground? That's what people call him. Like, my mom will call him back from back home and be like, oh my God, Josh. What is this? Did you make this? Like, she'll say that. Did you make this road? And he's like, no. She's like, God. Okay, so $500 to spend. No to Gen 8. Already have a TRX4. What RTR would you get? SCX10 III or TRX4?
Well, there isn't an SCX3 RTR yet, but there will be, I'm sure. So.
He gave you $5 for Matt and Josh. They hate me.
Matt and I will do a live stream. It's kind of funny because we were actually talking about it today.
You guys are cool.
I know, right? This is how we spend our conversation hours.
Blink indicators are what they're called.
I'll give you indicators, but that's like
who says indicator?
That's like calling it a.
That sounds like a Canadian thing.
Like you don't call it a stoplight because there's also green and yellow, so you're supposed to call it a traffic signal.
Shut up.
Tom Swinson.
Roundabouts are everywhere in Spain, but they're wide enough for 2 cars in most places. The ones in Miami barely fit an SUV.
I've done 3-lane roundabouts. I've done double roundabouts.
Nicole, how are you you doing today? I'm good. Exhaust fluid used to be a joke, and now it's real.
Oh yeah, DEF. Diesel exhaust fluid.
So many. You need a Josh and Mashup. These are women haters.
No, maybe they've been quarantined with one for two. Like we need.
Wives go pub crawling. There you go. Exactly. I mean, you can watch all of his other videos. I promise I'm not in the rest of them. You don't have to hear the obnoxious screech of my voice. If you go watch his other videos. But somebody gave me $5 for it, so cool.
Yeah, I'll take that, right?
Yeah.
Matt gets none of it.
0. Even though it's like 2 cents in Canadian.
No, it's the other way.
Oh. I have Canadian money still from when I went to Canada.
Yeah, don't cash it in. It's not worth anything.
But you just said it's...
Yeah, like $5 ours is worth $10 theirs.
That's more.
Yes. So that means if you have $10 Canadian and you cash it in, you only get a 5.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
There we go. It's that math degree kicking
Shut up.
in.
You work here fast, Eddie. Shooter ready. Holy shit, I spent a fortune with you on Baja 5B bearings and shit. Well, I work for them, so you haven't spent a fortune with me. You spent a fortune with Eddie. But thank you. And yeah, I draw frogs.
Frog drawer.
Or snowmen. Actually, snowmen. Whoever asked for the snowman, I was like, yes. Because
that's just one you can do?
Yeah, that's the only thing I can do. I had to look up how to draw a frog. How could you draw a frog right now, just off the top of your head?
I could draw a frog.
Draw it, do it. I'm so far behind. Uh-oh, unable to connect chat.
Hopefully that comes back. Let's see.
Oh, shit.
What?
Yeah, I don't think we have a chat.
Wow.
You can't do it, can you?
It really doesn't look much like a frog.
You can't do it, can you?
What's a frog's head look like? They don't have ears. What's a frog's mouth look like?
It's why would your... Oh my god. Oh my god. There's no chat right now. Son of a bitch.
I think we can just...
Josh, you cannot... I'm gonna frame this.
Hopefully that didn't kill the stream. No, it's still going. Here.
No.
There. Give me that. It's a template for a body panel. I need that.
How do you...
Well, you could switch cameras.
I don't know how to do that.
No, see? They can't see it. Switch cameras.
You're so bad.
Switch cameras. I'll show. I don't know what it looks like, but it's... Just go to desk. You kind of forget what a frog looks like.
Yeah, you had to look it up like I did. And I'm going to send it in the U.S. Postal Service? Like, I have to look it up, of course. Oh, no. The Sweet Frog is a frozen yogurt company.
Oh. You were supposed to draw a frozen yogurt company?
I don't know. Oh, my God. Somebody else. Oh, that's your friend, though.
Yeah. Roland? Roland's
He wants to
Yeah, we lost the chat and had to restart it, so we might have missed things. But
maybe if she was in the video, not just a shoulder, everyone would like her more. She would star in a crawler show. Nice boys. Oh, Phoenix. Whoever Phoenix RC crawler is, do you know who that is? because he's like our number one fan. Like he's always here, and he says.
I would have to. I probably know like real names, but.
Wait. Oh no, that's a party never ends. El Dorado County RC crawlers. Adventure never ends. I thought it was like the road goes on forever and that party never ends.
Is that a song?
Yes. Jason Boland and Stragglers. I don't want to be in the video.
Let's see.
From Matt Josh. I thought he liked me. I looked up how to say hello in Latvian. Yeah. Put her on camera. Got the Fly Sky Noble radio for a sweet deal today at Banggood. Ever heard of it?
I've been to Banggood, but I don't know the Noble. I don't usually look too much at the Fly Sky stuff. So I also don't have foams for these, but for the meantime, we're just going to install something, and later I'll circle back around and put foams in. For now, we're just going to get our gold wheels on our green truck.
What the F is that? Didn't they have frogs in KC? Yes. So many.
But you know what a frog like?
Remember that frog I ran over? We had so many frogs. Oh, they were obnoxious.
We had Fred the fried frog on our Jeep hood for a while this summer.
Gosh, that was bizarre.
He like fell out of a tree and landed on the Jeep hood and then just like dried out. But like in a full standing up position. Like just for some reason I couldn't remember what that looked like when I went to go draw it. What?
So I don't have any cloud storage on my iPhone anymore because there are 26,000 pictures of RC cars.
I think that's what I'm at, right? Is that what it's at?
Yeah, so I can't actually save videos of my sweet, beautiful nephew.
You can save them, you just can't.
Here you go.
What is it?
Desk camera.
Oh, yeah.
What did we call him? Freddy the Fried Frog?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got barbecued.
That's kind of what my frog looked like. Like, mine was a little fatter, I guess, but
I think some people want to talk about like RC cars or something. I don't. Bang's not so good, sucks ass through a straw.
I can't say I've ever heard that turn of phrase.
I know, I like it. Apparently I'm not supposed to be over on the side. Oh, looks like a self-portrait. Matt said, good lord. Somebody said, Daff Hugh?
The fuck.
Oh, the fuck is
The
that?
fuck. DAFAQ. Yeah, like what?
Can you explain why I don't know these things?
So Nicole doesn't go on the internet. Like, ever. So she doesn't see memes. She doesn't get references like that. Or, text, speak. None of it. She got so mad at me for so long for using emojis when I would text her.
Because you're an adult. Like, because...
Nah.
You know what a colon and a parenthesis is, right?
Yeah, you got it.
You know what a colon and a parenthesis is. You can make a smiley face and be a child.
But then she learned what Giphy was.
Mm-hmm.
And everything changed. Yeah. Every text response is a GIF.
Yeah.
And it is GIF, not GIF.
I don't know about... Are you forgetting about your tires?
Yeah. Well, but I'm going to have to open these back up to replace foams. So I'm not actually going to run these like this yet.
Oh, people are asking things. Do you want to talk about RC cars?
Yeah.
Do you? I'm good. Josh. Where's our friend, Sir Josh? I love him. Sir Josh. It's just cute. Staying stock foams. Everyone's judging you for using stock foams.
Oh, I know. I would not normally run these. This is just...
Everyone's like, and somebody's trying to be nice about it. Are the funny guy shooter ready? Josh, are those foams decent?
No.
I've always assumed they were bad because they just come with the tires.
They're not good.
Are you going to vet them?
I'm going... These foams will not stay. These tires will not be unvented. Like all of that will change. But I normally don't vent my tires until after I get them assembled anyway, because I usually just do them with a pair of scissors or
In my oven.
side cutters because I forget. No, that was removing tires.
That's the frog you'd get if you ordered from Wish. Didn't your dad do that?
My dad loves to order stuff off the internet.
He loves Alibaba.
Wish, Alibaba.
No, he didn't do.
He did do Wish.
Like once, and then he learned his lesson.
I think he did it, forgot about it, and learned his lesson.
You're white now. Okay. Oh man, I'm so back behind. You want me to just go up to the now?
You can kind of what? Yeah, you can go.
You're cool.
What?
My engineering friend, she's correct. No one should speak an emoji. We are all grown men playing with RC cars. I don't think emojis should be your concern.
See? If that was your only red flag, like
Yeah, no. They didn't exist when we
started dating.
yeah.
Yeah, you had to like install the special keyboard. I remember Stacy was the first one to actually have like the emoji keyboard and like send me. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like,
yeah. I didn't even have internet until like 3 years into when we were dating. Like on
you
my phone.
didn't have internet on your phone. Yeah, you had a slider phone when we met.
Yeah, that was the shit. It was like the
You had
square
a
one.
keyboard.
Would anyone have to pay to use the Kaiser Jeep body? It used to work for them back in the 60s.
Would anyone happen to what?
I don't know. There was this guy who drove by me today. It was an old man, like in his 80s. And he had the sickest old, like, woody, like the van one. Not like the wagon. Not like the Wagoneer. But like the van that was like blue. And I mean, it was cherry. It was, and I didn't know the sign. Dang, first time ever letting everybody in your lives. Let's go.
First time ever doing what? Oh, live?
Yeah.
Ah.
That truck looks more like a frog than your drawing. I would have drawn a Tamaya frog.
Ah. I guess I'm not old school like that.
Is VP... Oh my god, I saw so many of those Tamaya frog kits.
Yeah.
Is VP worried about the kind of economic slowdown with the virus may cause as a result of the work stoppage in many parts of the world?
I mean, everything is there's always there's concerns with everything.
The majority of Vanquish parts are...
Yeah, but most of what we do is in-house, is we do here in California. So it would be like the auxiliary things that people need to make sure things function. And there's always been the opinion that RC actually does well in recessions, just because people can't go play with $50,000 razors, so they pick up a RC car. Like a couple of full-size guys I know right now, they're locked at home, and he messaged me on Instagram today. He was building himself a RC kit because he can't go wheel his full-size, and it's so. But if people can't get electronics or can't get tire foams, like there's all kinds of things. But as far as the actual Vanquish supply, I think we'll be in decent shape. So no, you won't sit on me. And so you're slacking on your job over there.
I know.
And you have to get close to your microphone.
Okay. My wife hates when I use the eggplant emoji. Getting drunk while wrenching on tiny trucks, talking to wife while watching guy wrench on tiny trucks, talk to his girlfriend.
She's my wife too. Be a different show if we were talking to my girlfriend.
That looks like a $2,000 RC crawler and rims on your table. I've caught up with a lot of builds with the stay-at-home thing. Oh yeah, he's a teacher.
Oh, Joe?
Moose jaw?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, they're off. They didn't close the outdoors. Mic check. I ordered Vanquish parts this morning. Already shipped.
Good deal.
My wife hates man, if you say shit, they block you.
Oh, the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 3 whitewash aggressions, I'm ready for bed. Watching the live stream is even worse. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh.
What?
Been sheltered at home. I didn't say that. That was what was typed.
Oh.
Been sheltered at home for the past week here in Santa Clara, California. I'm trying to resist buying a BS410 Pro, but your videos have not helped.
It's the best one.
Oh, it wasn't my voice. It would just be funny for them, Josh. So
Oh.
it would still be funnier for me. Josh, if you could design a licensed crawler body that hasn't been seen before, what vehicle would you go with?
That hasn't been seen before.
Our friend shooter guy's ready, gone.
I don't know. That's a tough one. That hasn't been seen before. I'm such a Jeep person that I have such a hard time with that, like I would have to really, really think about that. Because in general, full-size off-road is what I like. So a lot of the ones that I like are ones that are common and popular in off-road, which is why so many people choose the same bodies to make RC versions of. So I don't have a good answer for you.
How could you date a chick with a slider phone? This was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
This is when iPhone didn't exist when we started.
It did. I had one.
When we started dating?
Yeah.
Oh, you're cool.
Obviously.
Okay.
I think it was a 3, iPhone 3 though. Yeah, it was.
So, hey Josh, I have some BP 2.2 wheels and mounting on 2.2 high racks with Crawler Innovation foams. I'm having a hard time getting the beads to stay and back screws started as if the wheels are too narrow. It's
a tough, especially with high racks and CI foams, it can be tough. If you have some 3/8 by 440 or 440 by 3/8 screws, using that longer screw to get it started, and then swapping them out for the quarters once you get them down a little bit further is a good route. Or a lot of guys will build some clamps to compress them down. 2.2s can be definitely more difficult than others.
Oh, Rollins, I'm mad at you.
What?
So what has the latest on BP fanny packs and Crocs?
Yeah, after my it's been a week now, I think, of sulking about our cancellation of nationals and get back to projects in reality.
Proline 2-stage foams are my go-to foams. They hold up when wet and recover from being wet.
The Proline foams are, it's another option, but I still prefer the Crawler Innovations foams. I use all the Proline tires. That's the way I like to go now, but the CI foams I still feel are better and more consistent.
I'm guessing Vanquish has got some 5-axis mills. Could you share what cam software you use? Hypermill?
We do mainly 4-axis horizontal machining rather than 5-axis. So, and most everything's done in Mastercam.
Why Hyrax and not BFG?
Because I only had one set of BFGs left, and I installed them on a new truck yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Maybe day before.
Hey, it's still cold in Missouri. Yes, it is. SCX10 III chassis is a lot like the VS410 chassis, question mark.
It is. It's got a lot of similarities.
Is it?
Yeah. It's similar.
Just got the new Pro line. TSL TRX tires. Josh or Nicole, do either of you play video games? No.
I do a little bit.
When was the last time you played a fucking video game?
Wednesday?
When?
I was
on
playing...
your computer? That's not a video game.
Okay.
That's a computer game. That's like what my
that is the
friend's
difference.
brothers did in 1995.
Computer gaming is superior.
Is it?
Yes.
That's weird.
Way better. Graphics cards are way better.
What up, ladies? Big baller.
Hey.
Hi.
So.
Speaking of.
I was playing. I think I was actually playing Grand Theft Auto on the computer, which is the best game that's ever been made.
Is it?
Yes.
I love listening to my husband beat up prostitutes and steal Ford Fiestas. Are there plans to continue making twin hammer trailing arms? Unable to find any for sale for the last couple weeks.
Yeah, those will likely be back. Those are on a machine that it's not a problem to turn those on, and so yep, you'll see those again.
Oh Lord, can we not?
Oh yeah,
that's a big bag of hubs.
Oh yeah.
Question: can you use acetone to remove paint off Lexan?
I don't know. I've never tried.
Caller says, "Where's the brass?"
Where's the brass? We have gold colored wheels. That's as close as we get. And I'm stealing my brake weights off of my old set of crawlers and machetes, because I don't think I have any others here.
Okay.
What are you at?
Biscuits and bacon. JJ Custom said, "What's up, Josh?"
What's going on? So JJ Customs is in San Jose?
Yeah, I know. We were supposed to go see them.
Yeah, why didn't we end up going to San Jose? Do you remember?
I just sit in the passenger seat. You drive. I have no idea. I have not had
My brake weight is stuck.
Oh. People are digging your
my green and gold?
Big bag of hubs.
Oh. My big bag of 350 hubs.
Oh, Donner Party Crawlers. There's a Donner Party Crawlers?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
DPC.
Can we talk about how that there's no like sign that explains at Donner Pass what like the whole history behind Donner Pass? That just says like it just says a little thing about Donner Pass. It doesn't have like doesn't say like, oh hey, we ate each other, but we were like 50 miles from home base.
Well, they didn't. It wasn't really at Donner Pass. It was down at the lake on the far side.
Well, they were even closer.
What? So I mean, maybe over at the campground there's some.
But he said, oh, that's Bill. Sorry, went to Moon Rocks today. Conditions were awesome, and we maintained the 6-foot distance between drivers. Going back tomorrow.
I would like to go to Moon Rocks. I've not been there yet.
Where's that at?
Nevada side.
Oh man, PC gaming. I think you need a job at Traxxas because the owner and his brother race off-road trucks the full size.
Yeah, I think they do Pro 2 or Pro 4.
I think isn't it?
What?
Just them. I mean, they're like the owners.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of
There's
the ex-wives owns a pretty good chunk of it now.
Fucking badass. Love it. If we get divorced, guess who's getting a freaking office right next to Steve's at Vanquish? Right here. Is there a tire in the 1-1 world that isn't in the 1/10 world you'd like to see made?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Brian wants to know why you don't have a power driver.
I do actually.
Wrists,
it's right here.
His wrists are actually just fine.
I should. It was for the audio. That way you guys didn't have to hear me screwing wheels on and off all night.
Line of the night. I love watching my husband beat up prostitutes. Thanks for the rock bouncer templates.
Yeah. If you finish it, send me pictures.
Have you tried the J Concept landmines?
I haven't. That's one I want to try.
More about you and Matt. Jeez.
Ooh, this green and gold looks good.
I know. It's like a donk. I'm telling you.
You can go to the main.
People are like, our chat is off. No, it's just me.
Yeah, no, it's just her skipping past what she...
Do you ever suffer from RC burnout? God, I wish.
Yeah, I really don't.
No, never. Never, ever.
I mean, if I get burnout on a project, there's always another project I want to work on, or I'll go start welding on something, or 3D printing something, or... You know, if all else fails and I completely run out of ideas, I'll learn how to paint, I guess. So.
What off-road series is your favorite sport? Best in the Desert, Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series, Stadium Super Trucks, Torque, or some old school series?
I mean, my favorite would still be Ultra 4 series. They're, through, like Hammer King, Ultra 4 Racing, that deal, but... After that, as far as like actual spectating, I really like to watch the super stadium trucks where they run the two-wheel drive trucks around road courses. I think that's all I really like that. It's fun to watch.
What about RC Brownout?
What? RC Brownout? It's like not quite as bad of a burnout, but...
Why don't you have a one-wheeler? Oh, we do.
I have a Scout in Kansas.
We do.
And then, my Jeep usually gets me where I need to go. So.
Oh, wait. Donner remains were scattered. Some in the meadow near Donner Ski Ranch.
Oh, what do you know?
Where Actofest it was last year.
Remains like...
No, like human.
Thigh and all. Pitch the bone. Like eating wings.
Yeah. Awesome to hear. I run Mastercam full-time on a 5-axis Matsura, as well as a few 4-axis Haas BMC. So glad to hear you speak machinist language.
Yeah. We run a lot of Matsuras. ES450s, H plus 300s. So, I mean, that's what most of our Matsuras are.
Some of those Ghost Hunter dudes should go there. That's what he said.
To Donner?
I guess.
Yeah.
Can I have another story? You want to hear it? You want to tell it?
Which one?
About ghost hunters.
Oh God. Yeah, you can.
So I had one of my bachelorette parties in Denver, and me and my best friend went to Estes Park to the Stanley, which is where Stephen King wrote The Shining the night before, and we ended up being there with the ghost hunter, like there's some TV show Ghost Hunter, and when there was like their conference was there and all their like people, and they were there, and man, I thought RC guys were nerdy. No, not, you guys don't have anything on ghost hunters.
Hey, I'm just going to say there's a lot of crossover because I once said that I don't believe in ghosts, and I got private messages about certain timestamps of like
that was why.
Like I had a truck that just kind of like fell off a thing in the middle of.
No, I remember that. No, and I engaged one of them kind of as I was still drunk and we were in Colorado, so let's be real.
Yeah.
And I engaged one of them and I asked him how much his little camera setup on his phone cost, and it was way more than what y'all spend on these.
How much was it?
I don't remember, but it was more than an RC car. For his iPhone, for a ghost.
A ghost attachment?
A ghost attachment. I was like, oh my God, did you get that from the same guy I bought that snake oil from? So yeah, that was fun. That was crazy. But remember Katie, my best friend that I was with?
Yeah, I thought that was.
So we were like in the basement. We were on like a ghost tour, which I don't believe in that stuff, but she does. And she, they have like this stupid app that you download and you can like hear words that ghosts say. And she says, oh, you know, everyone introduces themselves. And she says, oh, I'm Katie from Kansas City. And the little thing on the phone goes, peace. And we both like jumped like a mile, just jumped out of our skin because she has a peace sign tattoo on her back that no one could see.
Which I think you got like a 50-50 chance of that in Denver.
But we were from Kansas City.
Yeah, still.
Yeah.
Close
anyway,
enough.
So that was kind of creepy. But like in the Stanley doesn't look like the Shining hotel except for
once you're inside.
No. Inside doesn't look like it.
Oh, it's just the outside?
No, none of it looks like it. And then you check in and you go upstairs to your room and the elevator opens.
Oh, and it
is the elevator. I stepped back so fast. I like went to step in and then I just jumped out because I was like, oh God, that's the elevator from The Shining. And also Dumb and Dumber, the staircase, because that was where Dumb and Dumber was filmed. So
oh, that's right.
That all of it was great.
I don't think I had watched The Shining until you and I were dating. And I don't think it was until like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah. You're crazy. Matt's better. That's what it says. Bigfoot. What parts would you put on a crawler to make it the worst performing one that you can?
I would make it as heavy as possible.
Oh, Jeremy Burris. I was the one who timestamped them.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Sorry, we don't. But we don't.
I'm just. Yeah. That. It's. I would make it as heavy as possible, and with a really high turn motor. That doesn't have any wheel speed. And. I would put. Like. Huge tires on it that are with a big lift kit and super tall shock and an eBay roller skid plate. Come on. I should just do this the right way since I evidently have a bunch of time.
Yeah, I don't believe in that shit either, but if my trucks go flying around, I'll report back. Didn't know if you read the message earlier, but who makes the touchlight setup for the rig?
Mad NGH. He is out of China.
What wheelbase do you feel is the best building a new rig?
Wheelbase is usually kind of dependent on the body, but like a lot of my custom trucks, I end up with a pretty long wheelbase, like 13 1/4 on 1.9s. I'm trying to put some Gorilla Tape between my interior and this body just to help brace everything up. But
I don't know why I thought this was funny. Come to my house. I have a cat ghost as well as a people ghost.
Both.
How do you know the difference? We have a cat ghost too, but she's still alive. She just opens all the doors in our kitchen, all the cabinet doors. They kill me on those shows. Did you hear that? Did you see that? No, I did not. Your workshop is highly organized. You keep all your RC stuff in this room. God, I wish.
There's a little overflow at times. And, but there is a lot in this room. And it is very well organized.
And this is the only room that is, but you should see my garage.
Yeah, the garage needs more organization.
So I could put my car back in it.
There was Nationals prep that needed to happen.
And the Nationals didn't happen. The ghost screamed, "It's Britney, bitch." Caller says we're not 6 feet apart. It's okay. We have each other's cooties already. They have ghost detectors at Google Play Store. That's what it was.
No, like it's just like Google Play Store is not a real place. It's just a place where you go download apps.
Yeah, that was what it was. It was an app.
Oh, he paid a bunch of money for just an app?
No, that was like No, he had like a lens thing on his side of him. But I'm saying that the one that said peace.
Oh, yeah.
Hey Harley, is the Ripper or something in the Ultra 4 class something that will be offered in the future from Vanquish?
No. No, it is not.
Use Rhino Liner. Tell this to Josh, please. Matt told me that you smell.
Son of a... I'm glad I sold his truck.
This is funny because your wife is incredibly honest. I found that out mostly at my wedding when all of my bridesmaids spoke and said, if we need a real opinion, then we go to the And I didn't realize how honest it was. Oh crap, there's orbs behind you.
Orbs.
What is your preferred material for building a back half cage?
3/16 DOM tubing.
How about people goes to clean out the ghost cat's litter box? Yes, please. Overflow. 2 crawlers in the living room, 2 in the laundry room, 1 in the dining room table. It happens.
Yeah. I've got those rigs, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Stop.
7 trucks over there.
You're obnoxious.
Off camera.
That's obnoxious.
Then I have some in the garage that didn't fit in here, and then the rest of them are at work.
That's annoying. No one wants to hear that. Hey, Josh.
Oh, that's not. A lot of these people are going to have a lot.
I want to build my 3 youngest daughters SCX10 IIIs. Could you please do a live build of yours? I don't really need any help. Just love watching your builds. Just can't watch Matt.
I'm trying to decide, because the problem is with doing live builds is that you can't, film the close-ups and things like that. But Matt kind of already covered that, so I could probably do the live and then
What axles do you recommend?
go back. What axles do I recommend for what? That's just it?
Yeah.
Vanquish axles. I
Got a Ghostbusters app. I got with the Weber's duck's ass. Is that your dad? Is that your dad?
No, but that's amazing.
What's the truck behind your class 3?
That's a new truck.
What's a class 3?
A different truck.
Oh.
I'll get to that one soon.
Oh, this ghost talk reminded me there's an Ancient Aliens marathon on TV. Gotta go. We only watch the History Channel if it's forged in fire.
Yeah. For some reason, she really likes that
Me
show.
too. I just like the host. What happened to Weekly Build TRX? What do you think is the best mod for them?
What is it? Does that whole question say?
What happened to your Weekly Build TRX? What do you think is the best mod for them?
That one, I can't remember who I sold that to. I can't remember if it went to somewhere in Florida or what. I mean, it's been sold. I just can't remember who to. And I mean, honestly, I would suggest just watching the series. Like, I kind of explain the mods and why and what I liked about it and so on and so forth, etc. Other words.
I have a 59-inch wingspan Sky Trainer hanging from the ceiling of my bedroom.
Oh.
Cool. Oh, thank you. You sold the Flip That Truck. Did you trade it for something? What did you get? They're looking for teasers.
I did sell the Flip That Truck.
Did you? So
Or,
did you
or
flip it?
I will say I traded it. I will hopefully I'll have a video. I'm shooting a video on it tomorrow.
Is it a bad idea to part together a VS410?
No, I mean, if you're really going to try and part everything together, you're going to spend more money. But other than that, there's no reason it would be a bad idea.
What are the new numbers? 45, 10, 10 and a half, and the wife has one.
So, see, yeah,
See,
those people are going to have.
I have half.
Psh, I'll give you a check for half of what I say they're worth.
You'll give me a check for half of. Oh, we got 91 thumbs down.
No, 96 likes.
Oh, 96 likes. 300 people watching your YouTube video. 91 give you a thumb up. Oh, thumb up. Sorry, I can't read.
So, yes. People, hit the like button. If you're still watching, hit the button. You can hit the button or give $1.
Does Vanquish or anyone make a custom links for a 13.5 wheelbase?
For what vehicle? But, I mean, that wheelbases and all, like, it all depends on the chassis and the axles. And so you can't just, like, buy a link set for some car without pretty specific information.
Oh my gosh, it's 3:42 a.m. somewhere. Oh, he's in like Portugal or something. See you guys next live. 99 problems in my RC trucking one. I feel like that's reused every single live thing. Do you still have that axial Wraith you built?
I highly doubt it. Unless you're talking about the 1.9 Wraith. I still have that one. I don't really keep cars for very long.
Unless it's a 2009 Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah, unless it's a real car.
Which chassis would you use to make the best performing crawler possible?
It's all, you know, anytime you're saying the best, this, you know, it's like, well, then a comp crawler chassis and, you know, motor on axles and even that, you know, you're talking about 2.2 class. So why not go super class? It'll technically perform better. You know, there's just all these caveats. It's not really a question that has an answer.
Are you going to dance for that dollar?
Is that Matt?
No.
That's what I was telling him.
So that I hit the like button before even watching your videos.
See?
Have you ever seen the Benchmark RC 3D printed engines?
I have. He puts like little motors in them to spin things.
Green is for the money, gold is for the honey playa.
See? Perfect.
Ideas on the Voodoo KLR.
KLR. I've ran them before. They're fine. I just like the looks of the Proline better. And you're supposed to flex the suspension?
It's been lacking, apparently.
Uh-huh.
That's funny. Your videos have been lacking suspension flexing.
See, because normally I'm sitting here reading comments and I'm just like looking at the monitor doing mindless shit with my hands rather than actually being highly productive like this.
I mean a 1.9 trail truck chassis.
Yeah, it depends. Like, you go full carbon fiber, super lightweight, you know. It's, like I said, there's not really there's too many caveats to the question. It all depends. It all depends on the goals. Specific class, a specific, you know.
Lots of people using those game changer chassis.
So, yeah, there's lots of comp chassis out there, you know, Game Changer and the Toyzukis and all that, but it's like if you want a flat plate chassis, then there's a number of options you can get.
He loves Flex Fridays.
I can't talk to that person.
Well, it's takes his hat off. Most people probably don't know that you have to get out of the live chat to hit the button, then go back to live chat, just FYI.
Oh.
That's silly.
I didn't know that.
I'm wanting to build a 13.5 wheelbase SCX10 II Truggy style rig.
I have some videos on how you can make your own links too, pretty easily. So.
I think he means class 1 scaler. Oh. Would you ever do a ground up build?
Oops. A ground up build. I mean, I guess it's like, what do you mean? Like, no chassis or what? Because, like, my class 3, I basically cut apart a VS410 and then put a but like, kind of see why these questions are hard?
No, not at all.
They don't. Like, there's so many things that depend.
Will a Bigfoot gas pedal make my RC trip perform better?
Oh, that would be a fun thing to 3D
That
print.
would be fun. I don't know what a Bigfoot gas pedal looks like, but...
A footy gas pedal? Like the ones that...
Oh.
The barefoot gas pedal.
Oh, barefoot. I thought it meant like Bigfoot, like in the monster truck.
Oh.
Love when your wife joins. She's awesome. My wife thinks I'm a big kid too. I live in DSM, Iowa.
DSM?
Damn.
Des Moines...
Do you have a favorite RC?
VS410 Pro is my favorite. For sure.
Thank you, Phoenix RC Crawlers. We do get the joke. That's why I'm skipping it. When is Vanquish getting in more gear, grease, rock lube?
We shall see. Hopefully soon. Hopefully during this break that we have, or that many people have.
Do you remember when we would block out Emax stuff to make solid axles?
Oof, yeah. Those were rough days. I never did the locked out Emax. I did, I had Tamiya TXT and I had Clodbuster. And I always wanted an X Factor, but never did.
Is the Super Clodbuster or the haulers coming back?
I think Super Clodbusters are just always like a retro thing.
Well, they started, I've been getting orders for it like crazy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I want to take a Super Clodbuster rear axle and make a large dancing rider from it.
Oh.
Off-road style dancing rider.
Do you like when people write notes on shipping information at your work? I thought it was pretty funny. I think it's funny. As long as I'm the one who's processing the orders. But I always like it. I always enjoy getting nice notes at Fast Eddie's. I don't know. Josh doesn't really.
I don't do shipping.
He doesn't do the shipping at Vanquish, but I do at Fast Eddie's, and I think it's hilarious. I dig it.
So unless it's something really weird, I don't.
Somebody asked for. Oh, that's who. Somebody earlier was talking about the one on Wednesday. It was about your beard.
Oh, like beard trim.
Somebody asked for your beard trimmings. I said, I told Karina, I was like, you're just lucky they're not asking for his underwear. Thoughts on IFS front with portal rear axles?
IFS has its benefits for speed and things like that. For like in general, it's not something I'm after, but just a cool IFS for certain applications, like why not? Like then I'm in.
Schultz, that's not how you spell hear you. It's Hear.
Right.
John.
Oh yeah.
I heard you're hiding out in the desert.
I think Schultz is, not me.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, did I tell? I can't remember. Were you in here? Did I tell a story about when I was programming that truck and it climbed my face.
Oh,
I don't know. I told you about it.
we're getting echo now.
Oh.
Hey, Schultz. I got your gift the other day. Thank you.
Oh, your shirt. Yeah. So the other night I was in here and I was programming the TRX4 axled VS410. And I had the Holmes Polar Pro in it. It was a 3500 kV actually, I think. And I had a 4S in it just to program it. And I think I actually ran it with that. But either way. And it was on the bench here, and I was programming my endpoints, and it was pointed right at me. And I don't know why you were mad at me that night, but we were like actually legit kind of mad.
Really?
But, yeah. And I was programming the radio, and I got it like figured out, and I dropped the radio. And when I dropped it, I went to like kick it at the same time. But when it fell first, it fell straight down with the trigger onto my leg, and it had that 4S in it, and it just launched off the bench, and it had a UC Fab front bumper on it, and it throat punched me just directly in the throat.
Karma.
It did that, and as I was like trying to kick it, I think I just kept it on the throttle, and it basically throat punched me. The tires grabbed onto my shirt, and it just climbed my face, and then backflipped and landed on the floor.
Oh, I know why it was.
Why?
Because of the trash situation.
No, this was like...
That's the only time
No, this was like a week or... This was actually a month or two ago.
We've had like 3 fights in 10
No,
years.
I know. This was about something else. I don't remember what it was. But regardless, I had like a sore throat for a week after this thing just... Bah!
Good.
And all I remember is that it happened, and I couldn't go tell you about it like right away because...
Yeah. So my Hornet is the best RC ever. Think about how many people started out with the Hornet.
The Dancing Rider is probably one of the best RCs ever, but after...
People are laughing out loud at your story.
It
Where's the video?
was-
I need to see.
Oh yeah, that I had texted it to a couple of friends to let, just because, but not. I was not doing it on video. Luckily, I was trying to get it ready to go run, but I just remember after it hit me just directly in the throat, I was just, oh, it was the worst. That's so cool.
Is it better than your when you guys were putting those shocks together?
Oh yeah.
And that shock. I think Howard maybe like ran up the stairs to tell me.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Man, the green and gold is just...
I know, it's like a donk. There used to be one down in Kansas City by
so
Grand
good.
Slam Liquors on like 13th and Main that was a crocodile G-body with, I mean, like legit crocodile paint job with gold wire rims, and it looked just like that kind of, but like that's the Vanquish.
I mean, I had 2 2s. I could have put, 2 2s on 1 9s for a real donk style, but that thing looks so good.
What's YW?
You're welcome.
Oh.
Wait, yeah.
I would like to know how you get away with your wife knowing the money you spend on RC crawler because you just told her how many trucks you have.
I mean...
We don't have kids.
Yeah, and most of it comes from YouTube or like truck samples that get sent to me initially,
Yeah,
and then...
if I worried about that, we wouldn't be married, so we're good.
Yeah,
How much is that lake kit?
I don't know that.
It needs gold links.
Oh, gold. Oh, you know what I do have?
Oh.
I don't know what... I had a set of stainless links heat treated, and they basically have like this purple, blue, yellow, gold just tint to them throughout just because of the heat treating process. That would actually look really good on this truck. But I think they're SCX10 II links, which are slightly different in a couple of ways than VS410. Just in the front upper link, I think, And the drag link panhard are slightly different. So otherwise, those would have looked good. Maybe I'll have a set of these heat treated. But that's cool. I know that there's some sort of... Is that it? That's it. So let's see. Figured it out after having to stare directly into it. So when it's, is it on? It's barely on. So it's off, and now if you tap and hold, it like slowly comes on. And you can hold it longer and it'll get brighter or dimmer. It gets dimmer. You can like in between it, hold it and it'll get brighter. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that that's probably super useful, but, and it's actually fairly bright. I like it. Oh, there we go. Oh. It actually saves its position too, so. Nice. And it does have tail lights. So those don't dim. I don't even think they turn off. No, they don't. They just stay on. And yeah, they don't. You can touch them with other things and it has no effect. You actually have to touch it with your... I don't know how that works through the body, but it's cool that it does. So, yeah. And I will get foams for it. I will vent the tires. All that. So...
I have some BS410 gold Cerakoted links. They're pretty.
That's not a terrible idea. Just have some coated. Send them over to Mr. Amtmeyer. He did all of these wheels here. He Cerakoted all of them in white for me. I think they kind of came out fun. What do you think of my white wheels?
Where?
The white ones. Those 3 trucks that all have white wheels.
They look silver.
What?
It looks silver to me.
Those are white.
It looks gray. They're nothing.
Those are gray on the left.
That looks like the same color as that.
You're crazy.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You can't tell from over there.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Now I see it. It looks like they're like acrylic or something.
Yeah, it's Cerakote, which is like a powder coating, but different somehow. I'm not sure how.
I'm from Portugal.
Oh, there's some. Are you falling behind on comments, or are they just going away?
I'm just falling behind.
You have one job.
I really want to go to Portugal. It's the second person tonight. Rusty just did all my purple set of KFC boards.
The purple actually does look good. Purple would look really good on this body too. But that would get a little jokery looking.
I love the Joker.
Yeah, but I'm not much for that type of theme.
I like white better than gold if I'm gonna be painfully watching this video, question mark.
Oh, from somewhere else? I don't know where that's at.
The best thing to say is don't worry about it. That's probably not the best thing to say. Probably the worst thing you could say.
Yeah.
It's ceramic.
Cerakoting is ceramic coating? Oh, that makes sense. That's where the name gets it.
Josh, do you have OCD about how you line up the letters on the tires if they all have to line up straight?
No, because these trucks have overdrive, so they spin at different rates. So you can try and line them up, and then as soon as you rotate them, they don't line up anymore. Or if you don't line them up, you can just spin it until they do and then park it that way. But I actually don't care about that. Half the time, I don't even put the little tire dot on the inside on all of them, which I did on this one. So I've got the orange dot, the G8 even though that wears off, like I at least kept it at the same spot on all of them.
Fantastic rig this. Congratulations. Did you stock up on TP? We did not.
We did not. We didn't go do that whole thing.
I'm just hoping. Put a link to the light kit, please. Oh, that would be Cerakote.
Yeah, it's like ceramic. That's why I said thus the name.
Oh. Hearing a woman talk RC stuff sounds almost like a woman talking dirty to me.
Do you know what a BEC is?
A what?
BEC?
No.
No? So inside of... Should we try to explain it to you? Make you understand what a BEC is?
Who's we? Because no, I don't want you to explain it to me.
I could do it, though. I would be the best at it.
Look.
What?
I have a question. On the VS410 chassis kit for the 10.2, does the front upper link go on the passenger or driver side?
It actually doesn't matter. You can put it on either. It doesn't matter at all. I normally put it on the passenger side. I think just out of... That's where I feel like it should go. But I don't think that it has any difference. Because the links are centered, yeah. It will still clear the drive shafts and everything else no matter what. So it only matters if you have the offset pumpkin or like a VFD transmission. So you're good.
Just got myself one of those DeWalt gyro screwdrivers, and it's nice, but it takes some time to get used to.
It takes a second to get used to the whole like righty tighty with a actual driver. But after that, it's just becomes second nature.
John Schultz wants to know, hey, when are we erasing toilet paper?
Oh yeah.
What is that?
We're sending each other a roll, but like in transparent pack. Like that's all it is. Just see how it makes it. Begin early next week.
Funny. I have a element shirt you can wrap it in. Do these come with OD or can they be ran for normal trailing too?
These come with overdrive, but it's like 6.5% overdrive out of the box, which is fine for trailing. Even with a brush system, you'll be fine with that. But if you want to go with like the much larger overdrive set, you'd have to install that separately, and that's like 21%. So, but 6.5%, I actually even trail my Pro that I had installed a portal in the rear, and that truck's got almost 30%.
Sorry.
You child.
I know, I'm just... Dollars being dumb.
And so it just depends on your power system. If you're running brushed, you may be a little bit more concerned, but 6.5, you'll be fine. So you're in good shape. You'll be in good shape.
Actually, I told my wife the more I have, the more she has to sell when I die. Yeah, that's pretty much my thought. Rango, that is Soto, coming in late due to work. What's up, brother? I'm thinking of getting the VS410 kit, but I don't think I'll use the axles. Can I run SCX10 II axles and use the links in the kit?
Why would you buy the kit and not use the axles? No, you can't use SCX10 II axles on it anyway because it needs an offset diff. Unless you're talking about just getting the chassis kit. And then in that case, yes, standard SCX10 II links work fine. But you have to specify what you mean. Didn't he say Pro?
Huh?
No.
No. I'm single. I figured the 4 rolls I had would last for a long time. Apparently this guy came in late for my donk comment. It's midnight in Florida. I think he was in a lowride car club because of your color choice.
Right.
See? That's why I picked it.
Looks so good.
Do you own a capo?
No. I think that this is like my new favorite color combination though.
Duh. And you always make fun of me.
Usually you have terrible taste.
Are those 1.9 tires and wheels because they look really tall for some reason?
They're 1.9 tires or 1.9 wheels and 4.75 inch tall Hyrax, which is a big tire, but and then this is the VS410 Ultra, so it's got the portal, so that raises the ride height a little bit. But
will you ever drive your Capra?
Probably. It's apart right now because I stole the axles in order to build my class 3 right there. So it's kind of like a part, and I think I would swap to a regular 3-gear transmission in it, and then probably put 90mm shocks on it with a 3-gear transmission with a Vanquish dig to make it all. But I'm sure I'll get back to it. But right now I just have a million.
What do you think
open projects
of the new Voodoo USD sticky? Didn't you say you needed shop rags?
Is that what you just want to get up? Grab me a water though. The US those are the 2.2 KLRM. I mean, the KLRM is basically the same tire. It's just a replica of the same tire. I don't know why you never called it that. I guess you just probably didn't have licensing at the time, but I just don't care for that style because it's just not a tire or a build style that I was after most of the time.
No, didn't you need shop rags?
So she's not insulting Element, but
I'm not. Just Schultz.
Schultz happens to throw a shirt at her basically anytime he sees her. So.
I have 5,000 Element shirts.
I think you have like 4, but. So, but in his defense, you don't have any Vanquish shirts.
I don't have Vanquish shirts because you guys don't make them.
I know. So tonight we're drinking a Waterloo sparkling water.
You're obnoxious.
What store brand is this?
I think I got it at Whole Foods.
Oh, okay. So, man, I wonder if I have any other things to install. Is there anything else I forgot about?
Is the rear axle offset?
The rear axle of the VS of this truck? No, it is centered. The front axle is offset, not the rear.
How was the Crawlmasters and how did the Class 1 do?
Oh yeah, I need to get back to that. Crawlmasters was a little bit of a downer. It was an indoor event, and we actually had rain that day, so it was good that it was indoor. But there was about 50 people that turned up, and the problem was that the course layout, you can only expect so much when you don't really have rocks to pre-run, but with how the course was set up and the gates and timing, it basically meant that 45 out of the 50 people didn't really get past gate 2, or they didn't get to gate 3. So only got maybe 2 minutes of runtime on the Class 1, and that was it. And then after that, I didn't drive it anymore because I had to get back to the other builds. So that was kind of a bummer.
But didn't you guys have a...
We raced Dancing Riders in the rain, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was the highlight for sure. I was lucky that it wasn't like last year and I had like a big video series just for Crawlmasters, and then had a minute and a half or 2.5 minutes of runtime on it. But I guess it could have been like Nationals where I did 7 or 8 videos and then it got postponed. So could be worse.
Oh, are you talking to me?
No.
Anyone see the Enduro at the RPP blog with the low rider wheels and paint? Different strokes.
No, I did not.
What do you think about the new SCX10 III?
Looking forward to it. Mine's on the way, and I'll finally get into it. It does have a forward-mounted motor. It's up next to the servo, so it's up in the front quite a ways, but it is higher. It's got a 2-speed with dig, which is, I'm not a fan of 2 speeds, but I do love dig. So there's that. It has adjustable length frame rails, so you can extend them. kind of like the old Vatera style, which was cool. You know, I like Jeep bodies, and it looks like a nicely detailed Jeep body. Lots of molded details that bolt onto it. It's got an interior pan and cage, which is actually just like I did with the 2017 JK when I cut the other one and put it in there. I have to bug Matt, see if he stole that from me. From his own projects that I used to put it together. Other than that, I mean, I think it looks good. I like that it's going to be built for wheelbase options pretty much right out of the box. You know, the old SCX chassis was just straight in the rear, so adjusting the wheelbase really didn't matter that much. But now that it has the same kind of profiles like a VS410 does, to be able to accommodate longer or shorter wheelbases, sometimes you'll need to move things around more. And that one, being the multi-piece frame, stuff can kind of slide. So, yeah.
Okay, I've got a lot. When does the Element VP dig come?
Schultz.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
can just draw. You can drop a Vanquish transmission right in there with dig. Perfect. Fully upgraded.
Put a koozie on that, you heathen. Can you just comment on roads while drinking that water for me? Like, that's a fetish you gotta pay for. Hey Nicole, are your neighbor friends, the swingers, getting along any better with everyone now? I haven't seen an update on the news.
So what?
Remember the club on the news that was like in a house?
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen that. But somebody did.
I was like, we had swinger neighbors?
No, not. They're somewhere else.
I was like, I've seen our neighbors, and that's unfortunate.
Oh, I can get a shirt from Florida if I say my shirt size, which is usually a medium. Yes, the Pro. What I meant to say, SCX10 III kit axles. I know it's weird to buy a Pro kit and not use the axles, but I want the kit and body and interior.
Yeah, you need the Pro axles though, because it's offset. So you need an offset axle. You can't use an SCX axle.
The anticipation of Scale Naps months away just builds for an epic event. Thank you for looking at the bright side, Baller.
Yes, it will be a blast. I think I'm going to just start over on my Class 3 truck, and I listed the chassis that I built for sale, and then I'm just gonna build a new one because being that far away, I think I want to do some things differently just to like it more.
Somebody said something about your bumpers being the best release or something. I missed it. You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
I gotta say, the Vanquish VS410 plastic bumpers are the new hotness for so many non-Vanquish trucks. Great price too. One of your best releases. I love that description.
Yes.
The new hotness.
Yes. You know what that always reminds me of is Bad Boys. Old and busted, new hotness.
I think
I just watched Bad Boys the other day though. 1 and 2.
Fun. See, we don't even spend time together. He just sits in here and watches movies and stares. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm just looking at this truck.
I do stare at trucks a lot. Like
I'm
literally just sit there and
gonna
stare.
go watch the host from Fortune Fire, so.
That dude's so creepy.
He's not creepy.
That dude is creepy.
Does anyone
See, now that I have the turnstile here, I'm just going to put trucks
That
on
is
turnstile and sit here and stare at them.
ridiculous?
It's like a jewelry store.
I was gonna say it's like a Barbie. Like they used to have one for like the Barbie Dream House where you could like put them on, look at their outfits in 360. I might be making that up. I don't actually know.
That's kind of depressing if true. Because it feels that way, kind of. Mine's cooler.
What? Schultz is telling you my shirt size.
He's probably telling you the wrong shirt size because I probably told him the wrong one.
Oh, I think he knows by now. Would love to see it in metal.
Oh, the bumper in metal?
Yeah. Okay, we're annoying people. The guy talking about SCX10 axles, he wants to use SCX10 III offset axles.
Oh, okay. Well, that would probably work. But I don't know yet. I'd have to get that truck in hand before I would know that.
Lazy Susan, is that an official Vanquish product? What was her size? Like medium.
If I put a Vanquish sticker on it, then done.
Thank you. Okay, just needs mirrors underneath, and it would be like a lowrider show, like all the car shows.
Oh,
That's
more.
what I was trying to think of. I'm like, God, I've seen that before, and it's like the car shows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, John says he'll send you me an Element shirt from Florida. I think they probably wouldn't even let you in Florida.
Schultz?
Yeah.
I think they would welcome Schultz in Florida.
He'd be the president of Florida.
Schultz is...
They'd be like, oh, you don't own pants? Perfect.
You only wear shorts? Done.
Here. Go see
I feel like I would get a selfie from Schultz next to an alligator.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, I can see a alligator in the back of Schultz's Scion for some reason.
Hey guys, look what I got.
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh yeah, run LED lights.
Yes.
Can you just see like Schultz living in Florida?
Oh yeah. I mean, him and Jonathan both, like,
they would be the kings of Florida.
Agreed.
They are the kings of Florida. It'd be like that guy from Florida story on the news.
Right. Florida man.
Florida man. Scion. IFS front axle with portal rear axle thoughts.
Just wouldn't be my choice for most things. You could, but just wouldn't be. I would rather have a portal IFS with a standard rear axle than IFS with portal rear.
Oh, now we're unconnected again.
Are we? Hit the refresh. Yep. Numbers still? Yeah, numbers still good. So yeah. All right. Well, that's enough of a spinny truck in front of me.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm making you car sick.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how that works. But
it needs green underglow.
it's not a bad idea. I wonder if like My Trick RC could make me like a green kit, or what's the other one? Lit LED.
I honestly can't tell you that I know the names of them.
Maybe like one that I could change either green or gold, 2-color. We should work on this.
That's illegal. Cheers.
You don't have anything, and I'm drinking sparkling water.
I'm out.
It's a pretty weak party.
Oh no. Musha's buying us beer again. Don't have to do that, but thank you. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe.
Teachers. Yay, I hope you get, well, I don't know. Do they get the rest of the year off?
I mean, some do. Some are still having to teach curriculum.
Oh yeah.
You know.
How did you do the portal rear axle build, and how difficult was it to do?
I've got a full specific video on it, kind of showing it. You know, it's you got to be ready to cut up some parts, which can be a little nerve-wracking, but it takes to cut up. You got to start doing a bunch of cutting on the third member, and then that's the biggest thing, is cutting up a third member. Beyond, if you can do that, you can get through the rest of it pretty easily.
Where's your driver?
So, yeah, no driver.
Just search on Amazon for motorized Lazy Susan. I think I see the same one for $27.
It sounds about right, but for some reason I thought this one was closer to 40. But
how long will social distancing go on? Kim keeps trying to get in the house. Rude.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, they're going online. Green rock lights.
Ooh, does someone have a suggestion for me on green rock lights?
It just says,
Oh.
it all says.
Yeah, no, I'm... You know, every once in a while when you just get like super pleased with yourself, like you see something you did and you're like, that, I do, this green. I've had these gold wheels on like 5 different cars.
I look at, can you get Fast Eddie people to ship my shit? What? You haven't ordered anything from me.
What?
Ryan? Because if you had, then
Wait.
it would be shipped.
Oh, yeah. He means the cars that are finished and probably sitting.
Oh, you mean the ones that are in my living room that have been, that I've asked him every day when he walked out the door to go to work if he needs to ship Baller's trucks that are sitting in my living room taking up space?
Those ones.
Oh, mail from Eddie's.
I have to... Yeah. I know.
I would
Shipping.
like them to be out because I would like to not have to move them to vacuum around them.
Yeah.
Definitely get with lit LED and get some green and amber rock lights.
That's right. I need to be able to switch them. Choose one or the other. Because that would be...
Good night. At my age, I need my sleep. I'm not a crazy man from Florida. My wife had me tested. Can you please try and build the TRX4 dig? I sent you a video on Facebook.
Oh. Yeah, I don't... I saw it. I mean, it's like an old school dig we used to use. We used to build digs like that before you could, buy like reliable digs. But for me, like the TRX4 one, I was just like, if I was going to go through all that trouble, I would adapt and build a skid plate for a 3-gear trans with a VP dig, just because it would be so much more reliable. And I don't care about the 2 speeds, so I don't keeping that function wouldn't be something I would be worried about. And then if I wanted to go even further, I would just do the VFD with the dig to get the forward low motor. I think there's just really good options for things that you could just put in there easier.
Yeah, Ryan, just let me know what else you want me to throw in that box.
Uh-huh.
Have a great evening from Moose Jaw. Gonna go online and play some Wreckfest.
Oh, I like Wreckfest. I play that one. It's a good game.
You're bad. You ship my stuff pretty fast, Ginger. Oh, man. That shit's gonna start.
Yeah.
What about the LED light strips you get at Best Buy?
Yeah, the strips are okay. I'd rather have like a little LED pod or something like that. One that I could put in the inside of the fender well and point down, like something rather than just like the full strip. Like the strips are what I have on the wall on the back side of the shelves over there, so I can.
Oh yeah, he just said Amazon color changing LED strip.
There's red.
Yes, pack.
Yeah. Ooh, and go to the disco version.
No, I'm gonna have a seizure.
What's this one? I thought it would do like.
I just have to know if Eddie makes Nicole stay off his grass. No, I will walk across it every day. Just got here. Did you already give your thoughts on the SCX?
Yes, we've talked about the SCX10 III.
I just bought Fast Eddie bearings for my dancing rider, John Schultz.
Yep. Yeah, it's a necessity. Get rid of those plastic bushings. If you don't have a dancing rider, you should.
A couple years ago, I built a box with a fidget spinner in it and put different types of bearings on it and put the air to them, and Fast Eddie did much better than all the rest.
Hey, what do you know?
Nice. Cool. What's up from South Jersey? The slow burn. If Proline still happens, I hope you bring your mud truck SMT10. I want to see what it's got.
Let's see. I sold the mud truck SMT10 a few years ago. A couple years ago at least. But Bob Tarvin has it, and he brought it to RC4 Drive, so he could probably bring it. And then I sold the
If
TRX.
it fits, it ships.
And then I sold the TRX4. I sold my TRX4 mud truck a few months ago. That did go to a Florida man.
Cool. TRX4 rock light kit and Sharpie the lens green.
Yeah, I'd like that's the type of rock kit I was thinking, but I want like actual green LED, I think.
I didn't mean to say cool like that.
No.
I was listening.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I was. Ooh, this is a great question, Pat Blair. How does the VS410 get its name, and what does it mean? I'd love to know that too.
Vanquish, scale, 4-wheel drive, 10 scale.
Huh, there you go.
We were very imaginative. That was the file naming structure we used. So, I think it was actually, if Matt was still in here, it was like Vanquish Scalar, 4-wheel drive, 10 scale. So, you know, yeah.
John Schultz versus the Moonrock Rattlesnake. What's a Moonrock Rattlesnake?
It's a type of snake that lives in an area close to moon rocks.
Like on the moon?
No, Nevada.
I was like, I don't think they found life.
Yeah. Definitely not rattlesnakes.
But if there was something. Oh, Ryan needs 3 sets of Dancing Rider bearings in that box. I gotcha. I know a guy.
Yes.
I hear if you strap fireworks to a tiny dancer, it can be a good time.
Done it. In a video. 4th of July.
Oh, God.
Sparklers
That
on
was
each side.
Bill. Time to build a new one with the re-release SMT10.
I could, except we're not really doing AR60 axles as much, so maybe a little bit more difficult this time.
Good night, you two. Good live show as usual. Cheers. Thank you. For the old farts out there, have you guys played Test Drive Eve of Destruction?
Ooh, Test Drive Eve. I don't remember that one. Played a lot of the Test Drive old video games, but I don't remember Eve of Destruction.
I'm not going to read this because it costs money.
What is it?
Nothing.
History. Oh, Pure Rock Crawling. I have that one.
Oh, $15?
Yeah. It's not a bad game, but if I like rock crawling, I actually prefer the BeamNG, BeamNG. Especially the latest update. They added like some more dedicated rock crawling, and it's a lot. I like it better than the pure rock crawling game.
Or the PC.
For PC only, yes. This is PC only games.
Mo Hero 2 LEDs, Angel Eyes, and Demon Eyes LED light headlights for 110 RC model crawler car headlamp, screen, and white. They're on Amazon.
It's like, I think this sounds like an entire product description.
Lit LED should have what you want. Green Christmas lights, yes.
No.
Yes.
I'm gonna get green rock lights, I think, and maybe like a couple of green dome lights, because that would be, tie it all together.
That name is about the same as McLaren.
Yeah. 720S, 720 horsepower.
What's a bottom red truck in the back?
Bottom red, must mean that one. That's my class 3 truck.
What are you wanting in trade for the Josh Smells truck? What's a Josh Smells truck?
That's the one that Matt put the plaque on that said Josh Smells.
10 green LEDs on Wish for $1.99.
It'll be here by next November.
It almost bit me. Did you finish your comp rigs or no yet?
I almost had them done, and then I stopped after the event decided to get postponed. But yeah, the Josh Smells Toyota has left the building. So, but yeah, my class 3 truck had big plans for it, and it was looking good and going well, and so on and so forth, and then canceled, postponed technically. But it was actually in good shape. The electronics are in it. I I mean, it was just, it needed some details. It needed like, I needed to do some metal sliders and just a few things here and there to like get the scale points all ticked off. But no more. And then this chassis I put up for sale. So I'm going to take the running gear out of it and start over probably, but I'll sell this chassis basically as it is. Chassis, body, bumper, skid plate, all that kind of stuff, and then start over. But since it was built for four-wheel steer, and that's not really my goal of a truck to run every day, I figure for the rest of the year I might as well build something that's made more for front steering only, and then I'll go back to a four-wheel steer truck before Nationals.
Buy the Lego light kit for the Millennium Falcon. Super small wires and super bright, easy to hide, and there are different colors.
Oh, that might work.
I've never put a driver in an RC, let alone one with my own head on it, Matt.
Yeah, this one technically has two driver and passenger, but it's a bomber interior, so it all just kind of molded in. So yeah. Did you know Matt has he has a little head that looks like him?
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't. That's weird.
I mean, weirder. A little bit.
Didn't you have one?
No.
Somebody sent you one.
Did they? Mm-hmm. I think someone just sent a driver with my name painted on the collar.
No. Overland is a game. Beam MG.
I like Beam MG.
If I've already got all the surrounding Vanquish AR60 parts, should I get a V2 housing or an F9?
I mean, V2 housings are just, they're easy. Drop all of the rest of your parts drop on. The F9s you're going to be harder to find. V2 housings we still produce every day. And so V2 is going to be your one that's going to be easiest. F9 has some other things about it that are nice. Like you don't need rear straight axle adapters, and the style is different. But again, it's just going to be harder to find.
Can I have your Class 3 Schultz now?
Can you have it? No. But it does have the Capra portals under it. And currently it has some other brand brass knuckles on it. Because they're the only knuckles that I could find. Like you cannot find a metal knuckle, like metal steering arm knuckle that was in the United States that you could have before Nationals. And the plastic knuckle arms, I just was not, we weren't going to have a knuckle done in time, so I needed to buy something, and I bought those. But, it's, so we'll see. Maybe I'll still drive this thing, but it doesn't, I can't squish it that much. It doesn't sit in droop full because it still has up travel and the shocks in each corner, but it can't really compress either. So it's kind of in droop, but I could just add some preload to the springs.
Is a grilled cheese sandwich a good option for adding weight to my rig?
It's better than what I've seen some people use.
Where do you sell your things?
My website. I have a for sale section on my website.
What's your website?
HarleyDesigns.com.
And if you go to our Amazon link, then you get credit for that.
Oh, yeah. If you click through my Amazon banner on my website, then I get some percentage, but I rarely discuss that.
Jimmy Keene said, sorry I'm late, bro, and give you $2.
Oh, thanks, Jimmy.
That was nice. This is the best night I've had in the past week. It's been interesting times over the so much has changed since Nationals got canceled just a week ago. Yeah, I know. We were looking forward to going to LA and Vegas, and never mind.
Yeah, just everything's different.
Yep. Good thing RC's still essential.
Right.
Are you putting a Harley Designs placard on it? How did you do that?
Wait, what? Oh, it was like just tagging me. I don't think I technically have one on this.
Where's your
But
LED?
I could make one. Oh, I was going to put the LED tailgate in this that I had got, but then after everything had just fallen apart. I don't know what I actually did with it. Oh, I think it's in the project box. But
you did a ton of work for nationals. Now the class 3 is getting gutted. Sad.
I know. But I think what I'm going to plan on doing is just starting over and doing a chassis that's built for front steering only, just because I would like to do a bed that was more straight and longer, and that just doesn't work with four-wheel steer. But I think that's what I would prefer to have for like regular driving, which I would like to drive this type of truck. I just don't know that four-wheel steer is really what I want day to day.
Can I see the controller for the class 3?
It's just my regular.
Yes, that's what I was asking. Schultz was, where did that come from? How did he do that? The Harley Designs thing. He must have not been here for when he...
It's just my 4PV. 4 p.m. That's my 4 p.m. That's my 4 p.m.
Where did you get your tubing and bender, or is it brake line?
I buy the tubing. It is tubing, 3/16 DOM from stockcarsteel.com. I got what did I buy? 30 feet, and it costed like $120. Which was, I used basically almost all of it for the three. Now I think I do have some left still, but you know, between the three trucks, it took up a decent amount of it. So it's not cheap tubing. And then the bender I'm using is an Oakenshield Productions from Facebook, and I think it was like $75.
Josh, is that truck on your website yet?
Yes. I think I wrote the page up on it yesterday, day before maybe.
Travis Casper said, don't forget to hit the like button. Night, everyone.
Thank you, Travis.
How much are you asking for the class 3?
Like I said, it's just the chassis. So chassis, body, slider, or chassis, body, skid plate, slider bases, and I don't remember what I put on there. I'd have to go look. I think I just put something for now.
Does that mean you're going to ditch the rear steer when you start over?
Yes, but only... Yes. Because I don't... like for normal driving, I don't necessarily think I want rear steer. I only was doing rear steer for competition. So I think then what I would do is I will have my class 1 and class 2 done. And then when it's nationals time, I'll build another version like this for class 3 again. So, but since this is the one that I was least likely to use regularly, I figure that this is the one I would just ditch and start over with. Nothing crazy. Why not?
Can you get the VS410 Origin axles separately?
The original VS410 Origin, yes. They're on the website, the D44s. The Pro, which is the F9 version, and the Ultra, which is the Portal version, those are not available separately yet. Those are still being produced just to try and keep up with kits at this point. So those are not available separately. They will be eventually, but it'll have to be after demand for kits can be met and kept up with, and then, you know, then we can offer them separately.
The guy looking for TRX4 dig might be able to adapt an SCX10 III trans when they come out.
It's a possibility, but at the same time, just everything's so specific to both of those trucks now that without swapping so many things over between the pair, I don't know that it's going to be a simple thing like that. I think your easiest option would be to put a 3-gear Vanquish trans in it with a dig.
I don't know what this means. I'll buy 2 Gs. I'm the shock master. LO, you are sloppy one.
I don't know what that means either.
Okay. Please do more of these live streams now that most of the world is quarantined. Lots of fun. I've been on mandatory work from home.
Yeah, I can't do work from home.
Neither can I. Just got here. Any word on Proline by the Fire?
Nothing yet. We'll just wait it out. I mean, everything changes day by day, so not much we can say or do or hope for at this point other than just do your thing. Wash your damn hands, right?
Yeah. How do you run the rear steer?
I program it as a 5-position switch on my radio. So I've got, straight, then 50% turn, 100% turn, and then vice versa the other direction. So it's just, I do it simple like that because I don't want to do proportional. I don't want it to steer, with or counter to my front. It usually doesn't work out exactly that way. Normally you're wanting to kind of hunt the front around a little bit more. So I like to independently control the rear. And that's just a simple way you can do it without having too many buttons and too many positions and having to try and work to get back to center so much. Just simple. So super, super basic.
It's raining in Austin.
Thanks, weatherman.
I would four-wheel steer is awesome. Once you get used to it, it turns much tighter than you think it will.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've had rigs with four-wheel steer in the past. It's not something that I really like to drive with, on the trail and stuff like that. So that's why I just don't really have the desire to have it. I would much rather have a dig in this truck than four-wheel steer for normal trail driving. Like I like dig in everything, but not so much rear steer.
How many rolls of toilet paper for your class 3? It's raining on and off in SoCal too.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not sure where all the weather updates came from, but
I had ideas for the Origin cab body, but it's already sold out. I put
they're in stock on A-Main though. So
I put TRX4 axles on my Pro. It lasted one run before I put the F9s back on. Billy Mack gave us $5. That was nice.
Thanks, Bill. Yeah, and then these are my white wheels that she thought looked like silver. And they do look really good. I mean, just for a totally different type of look than what I've normally... And I used copper sheet for my bed sides on this one. And then I was going to back the inside of the front inner fender areas with copper as well. And kind of have a fun little difference there. And ideally what I wanted to do was have like an aged copper body painted, with like the green and things like that. But time is what it is.
It's not raining in Greenville, South Carolina.
Oh. Is that where Life PD was?
I don't think so. They're in somewhere else. No.
Was it just Greene County?
Yeah. That
Missouri.
before you've been looking tempting on your website.
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay, gotcha. Not a concern for my intentions. Please do a video on your rear steer programming setup.
I can do that.
Have you ever crawled in the Magalia Paradise off of something road on the limestone? My buddies and I started crawling there 15 or so years ago with our Emax locked out rigs, as mentioned earlier. Koodalink?
No, I've never heard of it.
I know. Where? What state?
Well, I'm guessing he means out here.
California? I'm going to delete portals and make it quick but still crawl capable. That was about the intentions. I can give you my senior access to get toilet paper. We might need it. Actually, Eddie's got a ton.
This one was definitely my favorite out of the Nationals builds. Go to the desk one. The how this one turned out definitely just kind of just made me the most happy. And then I need to finish boxing all this in, make my inner fenders with aluminum, and just leave the small openings for the shocks. What I did do the other day is I worked on my body mounting for this. Now, partially, like right now, I've got these posts, from the tubes that just kind of come up and go into the body. And technically they would hold the body on, but if you take these like big hits on the roof, it'll end up just tearing those posts through and you end up just destroying the body. So I designed up a system on this. And what we have here is there's this 3D printed plate that goes across, and it's just a landing space basically. It's got a raised area in the back there, and then I did print this with a hole on the side, and then there's a piece of 1/8" steel, you can see it right there, that I drove all the way through it just to stiffen that whole thing so it doesn't get this curvature or bow, since 3D printing will do that. So I drove that piece of 1/8" rod all the way through it. And then on the body itself, I 3D printed this piece here. Let me see if I can light this. So this is a piece of 3D printed, it's hard to see, it all blends in, but then it's all bolted through on the back side. You can see all those, those are 2mm, those little 2mm screws all the way across that screw in and bolt that piece in. So then when it slides on, those surfaces actually match up right against there. And so the body around these posts really just isn't even touching. It's just, they float in there. So most of the force will be transferred down, through the body into that plate. So actually pretty happy with that, because I like this truck. So it's one that I assume that I will drive much more. Are you zoning out now?
What?
Huh?
Are you?
So yeah.
Did I already read this one? Are you going to run bigger shocks when you rebuild the Class 3?
No, those are Capra shocks that are on there, so they're a longer shock already. Whatever a Capra shock is, I think it's around 100mm. So I don't really need any more movement in my suspension than that.
I tried to buy the Class 3 truck, but it would only submit a message.
Oh yeah, it has to submit them. I don't let anybody just buy it, because I make sure that there's you have pictures and there's everything's very clear. Like,
he has to make sure it's like an adoption form when you
Yeah,
adopt an animal.
exactly.
He has to make sure it's going to a good home.
So
What servos needed for the Hertz stick I'm talking about for an Ultra?
I mean, just a basic servo, a ready to run level servo. I mean, if you have like an old ready to run servo, great, use that. It doesn't take much force. I've used a Tactic in those and ran them forever. So you don't spend a bunch of money on the servo.
Get to TJ Copa.
What?
I don't know.
Do you just read things if they look interesting?
I have this shit on here. I don't know what they're talking about anyway, so I just probably something I don't know about. What body are you going to build around this time?
I don't know. That's kind of, I think when I redo it just for front steer, I'll just use another Power Wagon body. And then if something really cool comes out before Nationals again, I'll go off that. But for now, I'll just pick up another Power Wagon and start over. I like Power Wagon bodies in the style, and I liked how that one would have been if I could have made it the bed style that I wanted, without having to work around four-wheel steering. So that's why.
I just finished another Vanquish dig days ago. Hey, where's the donate ad for Josh channel?
Oh, I think it's the super chat thing, but I don't actually know. Oh, it's something like that, because I always send Matt $1 and make him dance. Dance.
That's obnoxious.
I know, you should see how often I do it too.
Well,
I'll do it like several times in a video to make him just.
Maybe you should just do a penny.
You can't. You have to do at least 99 cents.
Schultz says, how much more time you guys gonna talk? It's getting close to my bedtime. Go to bed, old man.
See, he was built for Florida.
Yeah.
It's late enough there that it would be acceptable.
It's 10 o'clock here.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm behind now because you were talking so much. Would sell the class 3 complete and how much?
oh, no. I won't sell it complete. That's just not an option.
How thick is the copper sheet you use?
025. I got a couple of different. So let me see. I got two different types. So I got these are both 99% copper. So this one here is just like regular 025 sheet, and you know, it's just fairly rigid, holds it, you know, little flexibility, fairly similar to aluminum, but obviously heavier. And then I got some more annealed or dead soft, and this stuff is like just super flexible and things like that. So that I was going to actually do more pressed panels with. But you know how things changed. I haven't got to it yet, but I am going to work with this copper on some stuff. I may actually pick up some like 010, maybe 015 and play around with that as well, just because it is heavier than aluminum. But the annealed stuff in this 025, I think would be cool material for some projects.
There's a full-size Power Wagon copper truck. Check it out.
I wonder, is it the Hawk Designs or something like that? The one that's in Fast and Furious, the new Fast and Furious coming out?
Went from 70 to 28 today in Ohio. It was raining and turned to snow here in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
What is going on with weather updates?
Somebody said it hailed so hard that they had to bring out snowplows.
Oh.
And yes, they were in Greenville.
See? How did you not know that?
I don't know. I'm just tired.
Miss Live PD.
I know. That's a good looking rig there.
Yeah.
Are you able to switch to class 3 from 2 to 4-wheel drive?
From 2 to 4-wheel drive? No. So for class 3, you can only have either dig or 4-wheel steer. So to be the most competitive, 4-wheel steer is the way to go. So even though I would rather have dig, but to be competitive, I put just full-time 4-wheel drive, but with 4-wheel steer.
Tornado hit somewhere.
Wow.
I am behind and backwards. Grab the truck beside the class 3. What is it?
I'll grab it later.
Have a lovely night, guys. It's been a long day. Wait, I'll try to stay awake if you're going to bring the other 2 rigs up for display.
I can grab I'll grab the class 1. We'll go through that one. Let's see. Is there anything else on this one? I got the interior in it, which is a VS410 interior. I put all the little, you know, option. It comes with a hard molded plastic grill, so I got that installed. Mirrors, door handles, wipers, so forth, so on. And other than doing the bed panels, this thing was pretty much done as well. But I'll grab a class 1.
Is for Hertz Dig, is it regular 10th scale servo?
Yes.
Those wheels look even better in white than the machetes.
And this one's got the same wheels. The white wheels with the gunmetal rings and then black scale hardware actually looks good.
There's a real oxidizing copper paint kit at Hobby Lobby.
I've seen that actually. So class 1 truck here, the cap I didn't plan to run in competition. So I haven't painted it or anything like that, but I did want to keep it, of course, and I'll get it sanded down and filled. Actually, probably not. I'll probably just paint it. But this truck is at least painted. Everything's installed. It's running. I left, I did the hood black just for fun. I left the rear bed area black. So I did the whole truck, primered it in flat black, and then masked off the rear bed area and the tops of the bed rails, and to leave the interior that flat black color. And then I left the tailgate flat black as well. So with the cap on it, I think it'll look decent.
Do you like Predator compound tires or G8?
I usually end up going with the G8 on most things. Actually, I think the tires on this truck, the 1.9 higher axis, the 419 higher axis are Predator, but normally I go G8. I just think that the softer compound's a little too soft for most of the places that I'm running at, especially in the summer and stuff. But the 419s I felt do pretty well with the soft compound. This one I already have Crawler Innovations foams in, but the other two only had stock foam still, just because of the shortages. So yeah, this truck was going well. I wish that, got the front bumper done, the fair lead mounted, the winch is running. Built myself a nice little electronics setup for the front. There's like a bent aluminum tray in here that has that my winch controller is on the bottom side of it. Receiver, BEC is all right there. And, my inner panels. So everything's like nice and tucked in. I'm running a Castle Mamba Micro, and it sits right under here. Other than that, that's why I have a BEC. And then the battery mount fits. Let's see if I have one of the batteries out. Yep. So for the batteries, I've got these Genzace 3S 1300s, and I forgot that the Mamba Micro X only is 3S capable, and all I had was 4S, so I had to get these in a rush. And Genzace luckily had everything, and they got them. I was able to get them ordered up fast, got to me fast, then postponed. But how this setup works is it'll actually slide in from the inside of the fender well. So it'll slide in there, and then it's actually 10 o'clock. It's actually loose, so the battery will just move back and forth. But I made a hard mount for the XT60 plug, which is going to be super hard to show on video, but it's right in there. It's deep. Yeah, it's almost impossible. I can't even figure out which angle to. Yeah, I can barely see it in there. So it's a FPV XT60 mount that holds everything super tight. So once I get the battery placed in there, then I can just take the plug and mount it, or plug it in, which is super easy and not a pain at all.
RC Ranch sent you $5. A lot of energy, a lot of focus.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you.
RC Wrench spelled?
Ranch.
Oh, Ranch. RC Ranch. I'm not really sure why I need to plug this in right now, but.
Somebody said I had kid number 3, so bye-bye office. Fast and Furious 28. What's the weight of those copper sheets?
There. I don't know why I needed to get that plugged in. But with it plugged in now, I actually can't even pull the battery forward and out. Like, it doesn't go forward. It won't come back. Can't go anywhere in there. So I didn't really even have to make a battery tray. It just worked. That's all there is to it. Nothing that fancy.
It's cold and windy. I have one almost just like that. I got traded one with another SCX10 II for a hard rock bouncer. No rain. Or Schultz's. We are wanting to get out and crawl. Weather updates are important. Well, 60 today. That'll be 30 tomorrow in Michigan. If I sent you $1, will you wear Crocs?
No.
Waller said I'm missing Bieber on James.
I don't know what that
I don't
means.
know what that means either.
So, there's 4 screws that hold the body on. I'm trying to remember. Can I take this off with everything on there? Or do I have to take the shocks off? I can't remember already. It's been too long. It's been a week. Do I have more screws that hold this on? Why can't I remember? I think I have to take the shocks off. All right, the body's not coming off to show you guys underneath. Because I'm not taking the shocks off.
Where's your driver, dork? Odd question to ask. Can you run a dig in the front axle?
You could, like if you wanted to have a 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive setup. You could, and I've driven a truck like that before, and it's fun and kind of gimmicky for a minute. But after that, if you just took that dig and installed it the way that it was intended, you'd understand how much better that was and how much more fun you could be having.
Are you running 2.2s on class 3?
Yeah, those were 2.2s with the Pitbull Berserker tires, which are only like 5.1 or 5.2 inches tall, so super short 2.2, which I really like. They're not like the super blown out 2.2 size.
I love black scale hardware on rings.
I thought it looked really good, and with the gray beadlock rings, it's like just a little different than the regular black. So it's kind of a fun touch.
Does Mod 19 make a bed and cab kit for the 4Runner yet?
I don't actually know that. I'm not as familiar with his stuff. I've only seen his stuff through Scale Builders Guild posting it. So I don't really know.
How's your drag car going?
I need to get a motor and ESC in it still, but I did chop up the Nova body for it so that I could get the new body put on, and I got a wing and drag bars, wheelie bars.
Why not do pivot body?
Pivot? It's just when you're doing a hard body like that with shock towers through everything, it's way more difficult.
Who's the chick?
Who's the chick? That would be my wife who said that. So these are those 2.2s. And then here's a regular 2.2 Hyrax. So,
You want me to know this?
yeah. So like as an example of how much bigger a Hyrax is than those, it's just a substantial difference. It's really hard to tell on that camera angle. Actually, go to the other one. So it's so much bigger of a tire. It just dwarfs this one. And again, it's hard to tell on video, but like this tire almost doesn't look much larger than like just a regular. Like here's a regular 1.9 Hyrax. So.
You can put it on the other side.
Like, and if you've never seen those 2.2 Hyraxes, they're freaking massive. So, and super wide. But that's why I kind of like these new these Pitbull Berserkers. Oh, these tires smell right out of the bag. Smell that.
Ugh.
Right?
Ew. Ew.
It's not good.
No. That's biggest fan.
So, yep. You shot? You done?
I am.
She's done. How long we've been? This has been a while, hasn't
Yeah.
it? So, yeah. I suppose.
And you were showing times.
Yeah, it's just a big game of show and tell. Yeah, no, I think that's it. We can call it. I have stuff to work on, videos to shoot.
We'll do more of these since everyone's stuck at home.
Yeah. No, we probably will try and do more and more of the live stuff for a while. You know, we don't have anything to do either, which is totally different than what we're normally not doing.
Yeah, no, I was doing social distancing way before it was cool.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Well, appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
That was like that raccoon commercial.
Which one? Oh, yeah. This is awful. Try this. Yeah. But anyway. All right. That's it.
Good night.
Thanks for
Everybody
watching.
Stay safe.
Yeah. You got to hit buttons. So, all right. See you guys.